Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. How are you? How are you? A couple of minutes late, skis. I couldn't find my bomber. How are you guys? How are you? I hope you are all happy and healthy, doing the things you love. Did you watch the eclipse? It just kind of felt like a little bit of shade for 5 minutes. Didn't get very dark here at all. You know? Starting to give credence to the idea that the world might not be the shape that it is presented as. You know? What's going on, people? What is going on? They made out it was going to be a big deal. There was no such deal. And it is a big fat disappointment, as is everything in life, generally speaking. Listen, we do have to acknowledge something tonight. Last night, I went on to a certain channel. In fact, one of the donuts from that channel is in the background. I'll bring her in.
I'm only here for the acknowledgement.
It's not really for you, though, is it? It's for your husband.
You might want to wait because Jimbo's on his way. He needs to hear this acknowledgement.
Okay. Listen, there were two main conversations last night, and one of them was about, neither of them were about football, to be honest. One of them was about carp fishing, which I still stand true and connected to. I don't believe it's as difficult as people say it is. It can't be. And people that fail at carp fishing seem to give the credit to the fish being so brilliant. I don't know about that. But there was another conversation. Before we get into the big news of the night, obviously there's a huge news of Jed Spence on his way to Inter Milan. The here we go. Is it a here we done, though? Because we don't know anymore with Fabrizio, right? And, of course, Fabrizio is like walking away from content, apparently, from transfer bombers, because I feel like he's just been beaten up a little bit too much for going too soon. But you can't stop a man who's gone too soon going too soon. And he might have gone too soon again tonight because you just don't know with him no more. You just don't know. The need to be first, Kate. This is the temptation case. This is what I've been saying to you, right? You know, it doesn't matter if you're right. It doesn't matter if it's clickbait. Just say it because the need to be first is all important.
That's exactly why I went live. As soon as it come out about a possible link with that Munoz or however you say his name, I was like, I'm on it, like a carb on it. I'm getting on there.
Yeah, we're talking about him as well. We're talking about Neco Williams because there's rumours tonight that Destiny Udogie might also be leaving. And the question marks around what was the purpose of Neco Williams. And we've got to think about the homegrown thing because we have apparently are about to lose one of our homegrown players, which puts our numbers back into a little bit of jeopardy again. And so Daniel Munoz, if he comes in, isn't going to fix that. He's also not that dissimilar to sort of Jed Spence in profile in terms of his like attacking flair and runner style. He's not necessarily like a connect the dots type of player, although he is a phenomenal player, Daniel Munoz. He's also 30 years old. So we've got to talk about that, though. Plus Neco Williams, plus Savini. No, Savini go. Savini, here we go. That one looks like it's done too. And you know what? I've been saying all along, Kate. I've been saying all along. Savinho off the right, Mathys Tel off the left. You know, they can get out of each other's way. You know, because Kudus is Kudus, right? He's going to take a long time to get back to full fitness. As long as Mathys Tel still has his opportunity to shine, then everything is okay in the world with me. How are you, Kate? It's good to see you. You all right?
Yeah, good. Just had a very funny show. Most people for the first half an hour wanted to talk about Hippogate. Then we got onto Carpgate. Then we got onto the actual football stuff. Then the lovely James Flower joined up, who still hasn't caught a carp. Him and his son both lost carps during the night.
Exhibit A, right? Some people are just donuts. And, you know, they're going to blame the carp. Oh, it's such an intelligent species of fish. Do me a favour. It's a fish.
And him and Jim started talking about it, and I said, look, I'm not having a carp conversation on this channel again. Last night was enough. And then I got the bomber that you're making I assume it's going to be some sort of apology on your takes last night. And Jimbo was like...
Not an apology. Definitely
maybe
not an apology.
An acknowledgement. And Jimbo was like, give me the link. I've got to see this donut.
I've sent in the link.
So he is on his way.
All it was, there's a guy called Forrest Gallant who is like a master of the animals. He knows everything about the animal kingdom. Now, I saw this Instagram reel of this geezer who was like, someone was asking Forrest Gallant who would win in a fight between this animal and that animal. and it was like a winner stays on. And the guy, the content creator, was like pressing pause before Forrest Gallant gave his answer. And basically, as soon as the hippo came up, the hippo stayed on. The hippo won every fight, according to this guy. And then he pressed play, and then his reaction was like, obviously the hippo. And then Forrest Gallant was like, obviously a hippo. And so there was a joke that they were best mates, all that stuff. Anyway, long story short, so the video finished with the hippo as the champion. And I went and looked into it, and Forrest Gallant genuinely feels that hippos are like almost apex predator stuff in certain environments. But where it didn't, I went and watched the actual show. They didn't bring up a specific type of elephant, and then at the end, the elephant won the title. So, like, I was working on incomplete information. That's all I'm going to say.
Jimbo said every time last night when you were shouting and hooting and on about these sodding hippos, he went, it's never going to beat a bull elephant. Never going to beat a bull elephant.
No, it's a specific type of bull elephant, though. It's like a West African bull elephant or something like that. But other elephants, the hippo can beat, but there's a specific type of elephant. And by the way, that particular elephant doesn't often come into the same sort of ballpark, the arena of this particular type of hippo. Anyway, it is what it is, mate. It is what it is. Like I say, there's no apologise, though. No, there's no apologise. Oh, here he is. Coming in with a little fucking beat in his chest, a little bit proud of himself, is he? Hello, Jimbo. How are you?
Oh, mate, I was just looking for the what's it called game? Where's it on? TNT, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's this new information that Jimbo was right on?
Sean was just in the middle of apologising.
No,
he can't start till I get here. It's not fair.
First of all, it's not an apology. It was just an update. It was an update. I was just saying, I saw this clip that basically was a winner stays on from Forrest Gallant, who's like the #1 expert in animal fights. And basically, as soon as the hippo came up, every future creature that was offered in a fight against the hippo, including normal elephants, like normal style elephants, he went hippo all day long. All day long, hippo. And then the clip finished. I went and watched the actual full podcast, and it was after that bit when someone said, what about a specific West African something elephant? Something, a specific brand of elephant.
West African bush elephant.
Well, yeah, something like that. And that particular elephant, he said, yeah, okay, that one probably does it. But it's unusual you'd ever find a hippo in that particular brand of elephant that would ever. And so I wasn't aware of that part of the podcast. So I was working on trust, and I've been misled by Instagram. So, but you didn't mention that type of elephant. You just said elephant.
I did.
He did.
I did. If you go back and watch it, I said exactly the elephant.
Oh, I watched most of the show this morning, mate. I was smashed out of my skull when I was.
Well, I accept your apology because I'm a gentleman like that.
That's all right. This is what I talked about. People that can't catch carps, they can't interact with things. They assume that there's an apology when no apology was offered. This is the level of intellect we're working with here.
That show, do you know what, Sean? That's one of my best performing live shows ever. And it was absolute carnage. It was just such a load of rubbish.
I put everything away, and then all of a sudden I got this message from you saying, do you want to come on and hear? I can't remember what you read.
The acknowledgement. Yeah,
and I thought I got everything back out.
Well, listen, it is what it is. I'm a big enough man to update the chat when you get new information. So congratulations. But I'm pretty sure you didn't name the specific topic. Anyway, that was then.
I did.
We're moving on. Okay. Well.
He did.
All right, let's get into today's show, guys. Please do smash the like button, smash the subscribe, hit the notification button, and comments should be dropped. Let us know whatever is going on in your head case and your headspace around what's going on at Tottenham. And obviously the news today, Jed Spence is gone, 25 million quid. I think it's a mistake, personally. But Inter Milan convinced Jed, no problems. He wants to go there. I wish him well. I really do wish him well. I hope he smashes it. I hope he becomes a top draw I think he already is, but I think if he can hone his talent over there, and I think Italian football will really suit him. But it begs the question why, right? It begs the question why did we let him go at that price point? Gary Neville always talks about the fact that fullbacks are the cheapest area on the park when he was playing, and he still believes that now. I think that fullbacks back in the day weren't utilised in anything like the same way that they are required to play today. So I actually think that having great fullbacks is like possibly the secret weapon. Think how good Fulham have naturally outperformed their relative squad strength over the last 4 or 5 years by having players like Kenny Tete and Anthony Robinson as their width providers. If you have a balanced system that can utilise those guys and everyone else can play in, then I'm pile into the value proposition. I personally think it's one of the most important parts of the park, because you have to do equal measures of defending and attacking. You have to, there's options of how you can be used. You can't really do too much with certain styles of players, right? But like with fullbacks, there's 1,000 different profiles of fullbacks. And also, I think that the price point of other fullback, look how much that guy, the guy Palestra just cost Chelsea. I think he cost 53 million quid. Think how much Jeremy Frimpong cost. Think how much the other side, or one of them was a free transfer, wasn't it? Anyway, but for Liverpool last season. Anyway, I just think 25 million quid is a nutcase price point. And if Tottenham were only selling because either the player didn't want to be there, but like I say, Johnny's always told me that he thinks that Jed Spence was happy at Tottenham because his mum was a massive Tottenham fan. So if that's not, and that's coming from Johnny, who knows a thing or two about that player specifically normally.
Sean, can
I don't know. It leads you to think that maybe
it was 30 million plus add-ons.
30 million euros, though, right?
No, pounds. I just watched it on Sky.
Pounds, is it?
I just watched it on Sky.
It was reported 30 million euros, but Sky said it was 30 million pounds.
30 million pounds with add-ons. I watched it just before I come on here.
Okay, I mean that's slightly better. That is slightly better.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's all right, man. I'm just on a rant anyway. I haven't even started drinking. I literally got my first drink in front of me of the day. So is that okay with everyone? By the way, it's 8 p.m. I don't know if that's okay, but you have to ask permission from some people in the chat these days whether or not it's okay to have a drink. But listen, what's your thoughts, guys? Like, because my sort of when you scramble it all together, for me the omelette comes out a little bit like that maybe De Zerbi didn't want him. Thinks he's either a bad profile fit or a bad personality fit.
Well, it looks like Spence, but by what I've seen, right, it looks like Spence wanted to go. So I can only presume that he wanted first team football, and he's told him he can't guarantee him that. But when you look at it, right, when you look at, I was going through stuff with that. What's his name? Munoz, is it?
Yeah, Munoz. Yeah.
When you look at him play football, compared to Jed Spence, he would fit De Zerbi absolutely like a glove. Well, I don't think Jed Spence will. So I don't know if it's where he said to Jed Spence, look, you're not going to fit in here, or you're not going to be part. You're going to be a bit part. And Spencer said, I want to go then. I don't know, but it's something not right there. But I mean, Kate said earlier on our show that it's like 7 managers he's had and none of them have fancied him. So there's got to be something in there. But look, I was kind of on the fence about him. If he stayed, I wasn't really that bothered. But now he's gone, I'm not bothered either. I think we can upgrade on him, Sean, without any doubt.
Well, I know. Go on, Kate.
No, I was going to say, I know that Johnny said that Spence didn't want to go, but everyone else is kind of implicating he did want to go.
Yeah.
So as De Zerbi said all along, if they don't want to be here, there's the door. And I think that's kind of what's happened. So, I agree with Jim that he never looked bloody happy. For me, he never looked really happy at Spurs. There's obviously something with him. Maybe he is like Asuakoto and he just doesn't like playing football. I don't know, but I think it's a good price.
It's his career sort of thing,
yeah, it's a good price. It's we've made a profit on him. He was only going to probably be on the bench. Yeah, We don't want any toxicity in the changing room. And this guy, there's never smoke without fire. And the fact that manager after manager after manager has said there's something wrong with his attitude suggests that there is something there. So yeah, see you later, alligator, if he's going.
Yeah, okay, but we have to feel confident that we've got someone else coming in, though, right? And it's like the last month or whatever has proven to be a real bloody slog to get any of these long-standing transfer names over the line.
Well, that's because City are arseholes for a start.
Yeah, but Crystal Palace is no easy to do business with. It's Daniel Munoz, right? Steve Parish is an absolute hard. He's as hard as Bloom or Levy or any of these other guys. Well, just remember what happened with the Eze deal. You know, there was no support or sort of grace or favour or just sort of goodwill in the negotiations there, and nor should there be, right? I think it's absolutely fine for chairman to hold out, and also we're walking into this market that to me feels entirely like it is a Mexican standoff of people that are football clubs that say, well, look, you know, if you can't replace with better, then don't sell what you have. And that's the problem that we're walking into, that Liverpool are walking into, that City are walking into, that Everton are walking into. I mean, Everton have just gone and got Brennan Johnson, for crying out loud, you know, and good luck to Brennan Johnson, by the way. But like the situation, I feel like I don't really want to be adding unnecessary additional transfers to this list of things to do when it's hard enough to get the ones that we've been working on all summer through the door.
But we don't know whether they always knew that this and had made provisions for this to happen. You know, I know we go on past evidence, and the Enoch Outers and the We Hate the Board will say this is typical Tottenham putting more pressure on us in another position that we now need to fill. But we don't know what's going on. I don't believe De Zerbi is sanctioned, or whoever is sanctioned for Spence to go without having somebody ready, or somebody on the what's the word, conveyor belt, if you like, to come in. And it's already been put out there that Munoz, you know, Everton were interested in, Forest have got an interest in. There's been some sort of discussion around 20-25 million pound. We don't know whether talks have already taken place. In the nose this year have been shit. Half of them have got it right, half of them have got it wrong. I'm choosing to be one of these people, whether you call me naive or toxic positive, all these stupid phrases that get thrown around, that is choosing to believe that we have got people in place that we are going to go for, and that these things will get done. I mean, Savinho's took so long, but it looks like finally that's going to come to an end. So who's to say that we haven't got a Munoz or whoever are lined up to come in?
I mean, the Savinho one, we can't put anything of it on Savinho. He handed in a transfer request, said he wants to come desperately. Yeah. And Spurs, I've obviously been trying. I think that Man City have just been a bit of arseholes about it. Mm-hmm. So I think that one, we've just got to accept that it's took this long, and now when he comes in, you know, get behind him, because I think that he's going to rip it up at Spurs.
So do you guys think then, before we get onto the Savinho story, just to finish off the Jed Spence, do you think that if Jed Spence does become, like, if you see him holding up the shirt in Inter Milan tomorrow or over the next couple of days or whatever, if his medical goes according to plan and all that, do you expect to see like us move after Savinho, move straight towards trying to get a replacement? And again, Daniel Munoz, for what it's worth, let me just get his stats up on the old.
They just said on Sky Sports, Sean, that the money they've got for Jed Spence is going straight on a replacement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they've already got them lined up. I honestly do. And I don't give a shit if people think I'm naive. That's what I choose to believe. And that's me. And he's good. You know, his goal return and his assist return are far superior to Jed Spence's. And his injury record's decent. You know, it kind of makes sense that he's a bargain.
Yeah, he is. Look, he's in the 98th percentile seasonally for goals from a fullback. Got 4 goals last season, which is pretty impressive. Passes inside the box, 15, so 98th percentile. Goals, including pens, 4. NPX, so he's outperforming his XG as well by nearly a goal, which means that he's good at taking chances that come out of nowhere or snapshots or whatever. Touches in the box as well, so he does really get forward. This is just his overarching stat. Shots on target, 46%, really impressive for a fullback or a wing back. He is a marauding wing back. again, though, I think I heard James sort of saying this just quickly. Before I'll come to this in a second. Just if you look at this, key passes versus completed crosses. So this is obviously something where, you know, when you get into the byline, what you're going to do with it? Are you going to get it somewhere that leads to a shot, or are you going to put it into the box? He's right up there. The only people that are next to him is Pedro Porro, Pedro Saucy Pedro Porro, right up in the top right. Hugo Bueno, very impressive. He's getting a move anyway. Michael Coyote from Brentford, who's a player that I don't know if you guys can see this. It might be really small on the screen. I'll bring it in a little bit. Michael Coyote, Trafford, the Bournemouth replacement for the guy that went to Liverpool. Diouf, the West Ham player, left back, who's fantastic at getting forward and whipping balls in. And I think he's now looked at. I think Pete, someone else. I think was it Forest that are looking at him? I forget. Diogo Dalot, you know, steady Eddie for Manchester United, and there's another player there, Tariq Mitchell as well, the left back for Crystal Palace. Where's the player I was looking for a minute ago? Neco Williams, right? This is interesting. So Neco Williams is another player that Tottenham are looking at from Nottingham Forest. Now, Neco Williams can play on the right or the left. He is a right-footed fullback. The last couple of seasons, though, he's played entirely as a left-back almost. If you come over to here and look at the sort of defensive side of fullback work, again, just two different metrics pinned up. It could be anything else. But if you actually look, Neco Williams is right up there as well. So for me, when I remember having this debate a few weeks ago about Neco, with people were saying he's bang average. Like, Neco Williams is an absolute fucking baller, an absolute baller. And if Tottenham could get hold of Neco Williams, I'm pretty sure Neco Williams would count as homegrown. Because even in Europe, I know he's Welsh. I think he's Welsh, isn't he? But I think he grew up in England, was born in England. So I'm pretty sure that he would count as homegrown, even in Europe, where someone like Ben Davies doesn't. Although don't count me on that. But again, even this guy Daniel Munoz, you know, right up there with. In the tackles and defensive side of his game. For me, I'd be more than happy to see both of these guys come in if we were to sell Destiny Udogie and we were to sell Jed Spence. These two would be sensational replacements. Do you guys think that it's realistic with 2 weeks to go, not even 2 weeks until the window starts? What is it now, 10 days till the first game, to be able to bring in, or would these be deals that we would get done in the 2 weeks after the window, after the season starts, but the window is still open for?
Well, I don't think we can get Williams. I don't think Forest would sell him to us. I think it's too...
Yeah, I think so. He's just signed a new contract, hasn't he? Or is it stalled? I forget. He might have stalled, though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure he would sell him to us anyway after the last saga. I think that it's going to be hard to get a player out of Forest. I really do.
Well, you can go and get a double bomber for your mate Morgan Gibbs-White as well, though, Kate, right?
Don't try it. Yeah, Neco Williams has signed a contract extension to the summer of 2029. So
I don't think I think it might have stalled. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that it might have stalled. That he hasn't.
Well, that's on the official Nottingham Forest page. So I don't know. Yeah, that was on the Nottingham Forest website. So I don't know, but I can only go by that. I was going to say the same as Jimbo. I don't see us getting Neco Williams at the moment. People saying it's stalled. Maybe it was.
Yeah, loads are saying it.
But I think, I mean, the funny thing is, Wolfie did a video today saying that they're linked with Munoz, and then someone come in the chat earlier and said, yeah, he has signed it. That was July the 1st, 2025. 2026, Kate.
In the mud. So much more embarrassing than my hippo retraction. Take your football stuff and retract it right up the jackpot, all right?
Someone in the chat said maybe Forest are linked with Munoz because they're looking for a replacement for Williams. So I don't see both coming in. Maybe one, but I don't know which one.
But Neco Williams, I think, is probably now a left back. Well, like, again, versatile as you like, to be honest, and can do a job on both sides. If you are going to have a right-footed left back, it gives them more of a natural need to invert, right? But I don't know. I certainly don't know. I can't think really how De Zerbi's going to want to invert one or not, or keep both of them on the outside. Be interesting. Do either of you guys have any inclination as to whether De Zerbi is going to want to? Oh, and by the way, so this is the thing I forgot to mention. Sorry, I'm all over the place. The alcohol hasn't got in there. Once the alcohol's in, then I stay very much on point when I'm talking about hippos and carp, less so about football. But James Flower did make the point about Daniel Munoz being a quintessential fullback, like a quintessential wing back, right? And you've got Pedro Porro as an old school wing back from back in the day that's adapted his game. With the lack of maybe potential forwards out there at the moment and the struggles, I still don't think we're going to start the season with a back three. I'd be very surprised. But do you think that a back three is something we're going to pivot to fairly frequently, or potentially see it happen during games as an option because we've got talent at the defensive line and certain styles of fullbacks that could easily go back to wing-back systems?
I think so. Yeah, I do as
Good,
well.
Jim. Yeah.
No, I think he will. Definitely.
Maybe a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1. That way you can have Van Hecke and Senesi playing as well.
Which they've been doing in training.
Yeah, and it's something he did a lot of Marseille as well. So yeah, I do see it, and James did say that in like you say on our show. He said everything's pointing to potentially a back three. So it'd be interesting. This is all the interesting things about when you've got a new coach. We've only seen 7 games of what he's going to do. I think it's going to be interesting to see what his plans are, and that may be like you. I think it was you that said it, Shawnee. Someone said it, that we've been playing some of the games behind closed doors because maybe he is trying it out, but he doesn't want to sort of reveal his plans.
Yeah, I think James said that as well last night, didn't he? Or day before yesterday, or yesterday afternoon. Sorry, I feel like it's a potential. Again, though, I'd still maintain that I don't really feel like it matters what the team sheet sort of says. I'm pretty sure Tottenham even came out or someone, I think it was Ali Gold this morning, that said the reason why Tottenham do the team sheet in squad formation rather than in positional formation is because they don't want to give away the hour before kickoff the positions. I'm like, you can tell the fucking positions. You just...
Yeah, exactly.
If there's 3 centre backs on the park and 2 fullbacks, you're playing a back three. If you're
even
not,
a carp,
back four,
even a carp could work out the position.
Could figure it out, you know.
Jimbo, sorry, Jimbo.
Are carp the most intelligent of the canal and lake dwelling fish?
I would say so.
Are they? Yeah.
You're having a carp.
The Einstein of the guild variety. I like it weird. Let me do a couple of super chats, guys. Big up to everyone who's here. There's over 1,100 boys, nearly 1,100 people here right now. Big up to everyone. We are keeping an eye on the PSG game as well. It's 1-0 to PSG. Fantastic goal. Good goal. Dean Lord, Chudini's in the house. Big up to Chudini. So Sean, Hippo versus Rhino all day long. 100%. I'm not retracting anything when it comes to the Hippo versus the Rhino. The Hippo smashes the Rhino. 100%. Forrest Gallant said so. Do you agree with that at least?
We watched
Not the
the
white
video.
Rhino, I don't.
No, we watched the video.
We're getting into brands again. You're a bit racist there, mate. What are you saying? Like the grey rhinos and the black rhinos ain't got a chance, no?
We watched a white rhino beat the shit out of a hippo earlier. So yeah.
Well, listen, I've seen
just before you carry on, Sean, just let me say, right, I was flicking through YouTube and it popped up, right, all these hippos were dead, right, and it said there's something in the wild killing hippos, and I thought, God, I'm going to find another animal to fucking give it to Sean. So I watched the whole program, right. When it come to the end, what killed them all?
Disease.
And another hippo.
See that fucking hippo up against an elephant. If we're going into brands of elephants, then surely we can also go into specific elephants as well versus specific hippos. I'm just saying. Me in a fight is not the same as Mike Tyson in a fight. I think that Mike Tyson could beat up like an Alsatian that was a bully. I don't think I could. So like there's like levels to the game within the species. That particular hippo that you're talking about. Maybe he's had a bad year. Maybe he's lost his house. Maybe he got made redundant. Maybe his wife kicked him out. He's just wound up and he's ready to launch. And whenever he sees another hippo, was it you? Did you cheat on? Did you nick my bird? That particular hippo against your elephant. I think maybe there's a
bad ass hippo because they were finding dead hippos all over the place, and it was
Arnold Schwartz, the hippo.
Anyway, Anyway, listen, big up to the hippos and the rhinos out there. Some people not getting their due. Thanks, Dean. What else you said? But would rather meet a hippo than a spider. Loved the show last night with Ken Jim. But yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed it as well. Really enjoyed it.
It was good fun.
I woke up this morning. I just knew. Right? I'd wake up this morning and went like, oh god, my head pounding. What did I do last night? Did I say something stupid? Was it a Butler show? Did I pick on something? No, I didn't do anything. Oh no, I went on Kate and Jimbo's. What was that about? Oh no! What did I do? One of those ones. But then I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, my first instinct was, right, get to the fucking laptop, get onto your computer, and find out, and try and find some like genuine sources of information where a hippo can smash up an elephant. And I didn't find it. And I was like, fuck's sake. I know you were doing the same. I know you two are doing the same this morning.
All day.
Well, we sent you a video.
I sent you a video.
Oh, I haven't seen it, so I'll take a look. Big up to you, Denny. Thanks very much, mate. Big up to you, buddy. Mikey Ward with 1,000 jewels. Thank you, Mikey. Appreciate you, mate. I turned them back on again. Now we know what we're doing with them. But yeah, I'm not going to be taking as much time going through the jewels thing because most of you are just giving away your free jewels. You know. Big up to Spurs Graham, Evening Sean and Kate, and Jimbo. Big up to you, mate. Appreciate your loyalty. Member for 10 months from Harmless Potato. Big up to you for the loyalty. Elephant better than a hippo donut. All right. Let it go. Ronnie's a new member of the show. Big up to Ronnie. What's the icon? Is that a snowman upside down doing a handstand? I think it might be. Yeah, big up to the snowman. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate your membership. Big up to Static Void for the 1,000 jewels. Big up to you, mate. Appreciate you. Big up to PH family as well with the 1,000 jewels as well. Big up to you guys. Appreciate you all. James119 is saying fish, elephant, hippo emojis. This is a new thing, isn't it? A new thing. And I'm definitely going to get that AI built, that AI fighting zone thing built.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. Big up to Adam Gill as well. Rumours of Scalvini are strong. Could we be about to transition to the centre-backs at full-back for certain games like City and Arsenal? Scalvini can play as a right-sided centre-back. He's done it many times, I believe, for Atalanta. Talented player. Like you're saying there, mate, similar to the Croatian fella at City who plays left-back, whose name is... Can't think of it right now. Come back to me in a second. So let's talk a little bit about the so you would take down your Munoz, would you guys? Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I think
we did go.
Excellent.
Yeah, we did go through all his stats, didn't we, Jimbo? On the show earlier, we did sort of put him up against Jed in De Zerbi's system, and he does seem a little bit more fit to it. And I know he's 30, but as Jimbo said, you can't buy superstars like in one window. So even if it's just a couple of years, 2-3 years, we get out this guy and then upgrade, I think it's a good buy.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So.
And Savinho is obviously the other story out from today. Looks like it's done finally, or getting there. £70 million. Do you see him starting on the left or on the right? Do you see if Kudus is back and fully fit training next week? Bearing in mind that he hasn't kicked the ball like a proper game since January, would you imagine that for Brentford it would be Tel and Savinho, or would you imagine it would be Tel and Kudus, or would you imagine it would be Savinho and Kudus, or would you imagine it would be something else?
Savinho and Tel, I think. I don't think it'd be Kudus. Not yet.
I don't think it'd be Savinho yet. He's got to get a work permit, surely.
Yeah, he'll have to work permit by then, can't you? Well,
I don't know. It took Tonali a while.
No, he'll have it by then.
Can't the work permit just transfer?
No, it doesn't. New rules. They can't transfer club to club. It's bloody ridiculous.
Yeah, because he's had one, it won't be a problem.
No. Apparently, Tonali's took a bit longer because he didn't play so many games for Newcastle as the whatever, because of his gambling issues. That's why it took a bit longer. Someone said it earlier. I've just remembered. But yeah, I would say the same. I think it's going to be Savinho and Tel.
What, his gambling issues might prevent him from getting a work permit?
No, because his gambling issues kept him out of the game for so many games. He didn't meet the quota to automatically get it. He had to go for an extra procedure or something or another. Apparently, I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
do you think Savinho will play off the left?
I do. Yeah, I think
And
he'll
what?
be off
And,
to
and
him and Tel.
on the assumption, obviously, that Mathys Tel is going to start every game, first name on the team sheet. Do you, on that basis, do you then obviously think that Mathys Tel will play on the right?
I think we might. I just was going to blow over that. Well, I think we're going to see Tel in the middle a bit as well as the 9.
Oh, Sizzy said something, has he? What Sizzy said?
Sissy said what?
No, I think someone asked about Savinho and who's been saying about Savinho nearly done.
Oh yeah, Sissy said it. I think as much as I don't want to say it, Sean, I don't want your bottom lip to start quivering. I think to start with, Savinho is going to bench Tel because you're going to pay 70 odd million upwards. They ain't going to put Savinho on the bench, are they?
I think it needs to be. I listen. All jokes aside, right? Like 50% of my sort of constant takes on Tel is because I do rate him and I think it's unfair the way he's treated by people. But 50% is also just for fun, right? But I genuinely do think that it's not just a slam dunk that Mathys Tel gets instantly benched when Savinho is fully fit and Mohamed Kudus is fully fit. For anyone that complains about Mathys Tel, waiting too long on the ball or not knowing what to do and then just recycling it backwards after 10 seconds of looking for a gap. Like, think back to Mohamed Kudus, when Mohamed Kudus around the November, when Mohamed Kudus first came to Tottenham, he had that initial impact when it was up against one man. As soon as you were double man marked, he would hold on to the ball, try and look for and eventually just hand it back to Pedro Porro anyway. Right. So that's a common theme for fullbacks whose first instinct is to try to take a man on. But then if there's no room to do it, you end up going to exhausting your options and then just like it was frustrating. I remember everyone getting frustrated with Mohamed Kudus doing it. And then they're also saying the same thing about Mathys Tel. That won't happen if you have a double threat. All I'm asking for is like a level playing field where everyone gets a chance to impress and then let the sort of like water finds its own level, let the cookie crumble as it may. If it turns out that Savinho smashes it and Kudus smashes it, obviously Mathys Tel gets to sit on the bench. If it turns out that Mathys Tel does better when he only has one man to take on, and the same with Kudus, then Savinho gets put on the bench. And if it's Savinho and if it's Tel that are the better combination, then Kudus gets put on the bench, right? Surely that's what we want, a meritocracy, not some predetermined, pre-fit, because one of them was a new signing that cost more and the other one was a slightly newer signing than the previous guy. But they're all capable. They all do similar things. And all three of them have their own areas where they're probably better than everybody else. I think Mathys Tel's crossing is better than Kudus's and better than Savinho's. I think Savinho's footwork and his dribbling is probably better than Tel's and Kudus's, if I'm honest. And I think Kudus's his strength is far superior to everybody else, right? His actual physicality, ability to bundle and hold on to the ball. So there's a horses for courses narrative, and I also think that all three of them, they should all be given a chance, and basically whoever are the strongest. Competition's good. It's a good thing. No?
Yeah, of course it is. I've been saying this all along when people are debating Savinho and Tel. It's just going to be lovely to have both of them. It's going to be fantastic to have both of them, and they're then pushing each other on. I'm sure they'll both get their games, over the season with the cup games as well. And let's see who performs, and hopefully they both perform. What a nice headache to have. But if you want to build a squad that's going to challenge for the Premiership and it's going to challenge for cups, and eventually when we get into Europe, you're going to need that, Sean. Otherwise, you're not going to be challenging for stuff. You need in each position more than one player that's pushing the other one. Look at Arsenal. They've started to do it now. City have done it for years. Liverpool. And I mean, I used to look at Liverpool and look at their strike force, and I used to think we can only dream of that. And that's where we've got to get to.
Are you guys of the, like, given that you have Odebear, who's still in the squad and he's probably, I don't know, 4 months away, and obviously Xavi Simons, and then Kulusevski as well, could be fit, could not be fit, we don't know. And you got Maddison. Is going into the initial phase of the season with three wingers, two of whom are capable of doing either side if necessary, in Tel and Savinho, is it the end of the world to just start the season with Savinho, Tel and Kudus, knowing that you have hopefully by the halfway stage in the season, Odegaard to throw in, and obviously Kulusevski if he does get himself back and is ready to go. Like on paper, all things being good and well, Kulusevski might be ready to play by game week 7 or 8. Or is it just not acceptable to have only 3 wingers that are fit at the start of the season? And it might even be 2 because Kudus we don't know yet, do we?
Well, we were saying on our show, if we did bring in, say, a Daniel Munoz, you've got potential of putting him or Porro on as a right winger because they both play that far advanced on the pitch that both of them could potentially play as a right winger as well. And that's why I think he might be the sort of choice that De Zerbi's looking for. And we've seen as well in the World Cup how far forward Porro played and how Spain managed to get the absolute best out of him. So, I mean, I don't think Odegaard's good enough for Tottenham. Even though we watched him, there was high praise. I don't know.
He's another one though that I've just got a lot of time for. I hear the idea that like there's unproven whatever, but when Odegaard was like cooking in that little period before he got injured, like I genuinely thought that he was. Again, he's very similar though, isn't he? He's very similar profile, like another player that just likes to run with the ball. He's got a bit of a snapshot on him. I've got a lot of like if he can stay fit, but again, his fitness is a massive issue because that's not the first injury he's had. He's had since he's been at Tottenham, he's been out far, far more than he's been available. But as a player with potential, I think he's got something. But maybe he's just not good enough for the standard that we're trying to set to win. Champions League.
When we was at the game when he had his debut against Everton, we was actually at the game and he come on and he was really, really good. But
he did. I was really excited by him.
Aston Villa have just scored. It's 1-1. I think to myself, I think players like Odegaard, and I don't want to be too harsh on him here, but I just think if you want to move to that next level, the Odegaards are not the players, Sean.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think.
Is there a discernible difference between Odegaard and Tel, or Odegaard and?
I know. I think Tel's going to be a good player for us. I've been saying it for how long, Kate? Before people were even debating about Tel, I just when he come into the club, I just thought to myself, if the kid's got something, and with the right manager, they get it out of him, and I think De Zerbi will get it out of him. I think he's going to be a good player for us.
If the camera had panned to me mooning, it would have been the Total Eclipse Part 2. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah. Wait a minute, the clips are supposed to be at 7:18. Not 8:47. It's Aston Villa 1-1. Who's that Madjojo guy? He's a big unit, isn't he? Fucking hell, look at the size of him.
But he's had 4 chances and he's actually put one in the net. So
someone just said KSI just scored. I wondered who they was referring to. Now I know. I think we've got to be realistic and say it can't all happen in one window. We've got to sort of accept we can't get everyone done in one window.
No chance he's 17. He's not, is he?
He's a big boy, isn't he?
He's an absolute unit. I was like, who is he? I don't know who he is. He's 17.
Bloody hell.
Never heard his name before. The bloke looks about 35. Check it. Someone check his passport. Where's he from? Is he English? Is he from out? Is he? Go on, Villa. Oh, chance there for Villa again.
Wow.
17-year-old, 16, 17. Check his IDs, Sadini, 100%. Oh, he is English, is he? Yeah, he's absolute monster. Absolute monster of a guy. Fair play. Back to Tottenham. So yes, okay. So you're saying that you probably liquidate Odegaard next season, would you, mate? In the summer, if he gets fit,
I would.
Sell him? Yeah,
I would. Yeah.
Depending unless he does something spectacular. I mean, I don't like to write people off. If he comes back from injury and is really impressive, we reassess it. But I don't expect that to happen, if I'm honest. But I think everyone's expecting like our whole squad to be upgraded this window. It's just impossible. It literally is impossible. And the market is horrendous.
Do you think that it's half time at the game. Do you think that there's an angle to say You know what happened with Liverpool last year, right? When they signed Kirkes, that's the guy's name, the left back, Frimpong. They brought in 2 or 3 forwards and all that stuff, Florian Wirtz, etc. And then it just didn't work. Second season for the manager didn't work. Is there any chance that Tottenham might go through? Listen, we can't get much worse. Obviously, the season before for Liverpool, they won the league. Then they made all those changes, and then it just sort of fell apart in the early start of their campaign. Tottenham couldn't get much worse than what it was last season. I don't expect the same thing to happen. But for anyone that's looking at the signings, even if we were to sign Savinho tomorrow, you replace Jed Spence with a Munoz, you replace Udogie with a Neco Williams. If you do end up selling Romero and you go and get someone like a Scalvini, even though I don't necessarily know if we need to do that right now, as long as there's the money, and that doesn't mean that the opportunity cost isn't preventing us from going at the top end. But if you then go and get a striker, whether that's a Mateta, whether that is an Osimhen, whatever, right? Is there? And you sit there and everyone reflects on September the 1st and goes, Jesus Christ, Tottenham have signed 10 first team ready players. We've upgraded the bench, upgraded the first team. You've got De Zerbi. Every Tottenham fan is satisfied to a decent enough degree. Then expectations are, well, you've got everything you asked for. The club have bent over backwards. We've paid people ridiculous amounts of money to stay, like Micky van der Ven and Pedro Porro. Over to you, De Zerbi. Is there any part of too much too soon in terms of change that could end up being a problem?
No, I think with Liverpool last year, they got some key injuries early, if you remember. And I think that kind of derailed them a bit. And even though they won the league, they didn't seem happy, did they? Working under Slot.
No, Slot they didn't.
They didn't look like they were happy. I don't think we're going to have that problem. Look, only time will tell. But I don't think we will have that problem. We might start off not flowing as much as we want them to flow, but that's to be expected at the beginning of the season. And I think that as the season goes on, the team will start flowing more. So I'm not worried about that, Sean. Not at all. I'm a little bit worried about the. I'm not worried, but I'm just hope that they bring in the right players in the front line. I think Savinho's are going to fit in well, and it's just if they bring another 2 in. I hope that they get people that are a really good standard, and they don't do what Spurs normally do. And do a panic buy, because I don't think that's going to work. I mean, if you go and buy let's be honest, that's what we've done with Solanke. We've done it with Richie. They were kind of panic buys, and look how that's worked out. We're better off, in my opinion, we are better off keeping what we've got than doing a panic buy and wasting a load more money until the next window.
Yeah, I get it. I see what I think. Harmless Potato said it exactly right. It's harder to change and try and stay champions than it is to change and move up from 17th spot. So we're going to be really, really hard pushed to be any worse.
Expectations from the fan base, Kate.
Yeah, but our fan base very often have got ridiculous expectations anyway. So, like Jimbo, for instance, when he talks about winning the league, for me that's just freaking ridiculous. But I mean, it's not going to happen anyway. We're not going to change that many players this window, so it's kind of
we're going to be.
Did you just say that Jim talks ridiculous because he said we got a chance of winning the league?
Correct.
Yeah, I was going to let that one slide through the net, mate.
I'm not letting it slide. I'm not letting it slide. If we buy a good front line, right, and we click.
If Spats and
it's all an if, Kate. But if we buy a good front line and we click, right, we'll be up there fighting. I'm telling you now. There's no argument about it. You wait and see.
You told me we were getting Osimhen.
You be the pessimist, right, and I'll be the optimist.
Realist, and you're the delusionalist. I mean, you're talking about Osimhen. I've just seen that Al Hilal want Osimhen.
Well, actually, there's a story out about Victor Osimhen I was going to come to. It's coming from SoccerNet Nigeria. What is this? I want to find a Tottenham link. I want to find one. And I found one. Turkish Superliga giants Galatasaray have opened the door to a potential departure for Victor Osimhen, according to reports from 3 different countries. I'm going to come back and read that one in just a minute for everyone. Eugene, welcome to the show, mate. Before I bring you in, guys, I just got to do a little bit of admin. As you know, I've been taking some. I actually got to a new weight loss, a little micro goal this morning. I know Kate's miles ahead of me with her journey, and so is Jimbo on the health kick. I'm trying my best to navigate this stuff. I got to like 18 stone at my peak, right? And I was like, I can't go any more than that. And I'm down now half a stone since I started, and I haven't really changed too much, if I'm entirely honest. And like I say, sleep is much better, focus is cool, I feel healthier, and the dreams that I'm having are just absolutely insane. If anyone likes a good old dream, then consider a little bit of Oxford Natural, as well as all the other benefits. Let me just play this ad for you guys. We're back in 2 seconds to find out how Eugenie is. 1 second, guys. Some of you may be aware that I've recently begun my own health journey as we move into the second half of 2026. And that's all being shaped and aided by the sponsor of today's video, Oxford Natural, and their new improved formula and recipe for their optimum day and night pill. Now, it's not a miracle cure. You have to put in the hard graft, but essentially it works by taking a tablet in the morning that will keep your cravings at bay, keep your metabolism firing on all cylinders, and make sure that your mind stays sharp and focused and avoids all of those distractions and temptations. Now, they do that by combining the very best ingredients in the game at the right levels to make sure that you can maximize your results. The nighttime pill is essentially about recovery and making sure that you have the best night's sleep possible, so that, again, you're not tired in the morning, whereby you're more likely to fall into those temptation traps. Now, look, you can follow my journey and see how I get on, or you can skip ahead here and see exactly what other people that have gone before me have achieved using Optimum Day and Night. We could look at Robbie Lyle from AFTV, who is down over 100 pounds now in his weight loss and health journey. Quite incredible. How about Michael Owen, who's down over 40 pounds in his health journey using Optimum Day and Night. There's also Anita, who is down over 60 pounds now in her journey, and Linda, who is down over 50 in hers. Quite incredible. As I say, it's not a miracle cure, but if you would like to join me on my journey, then we can do this together. And you can do that by going to the link in the description below, or going to the QR code, scanning the QR code. And when you go to the checkout, if you use the code STS70, as in Spurs Talk Show, STS70, then you will get 70% off your first order. And I'd love to see how you get on. We can do this together, guys. Let's get our health back on shape as we move into the second half of 2026. Big up to them for the sponsor. Appreciate anyone who gives them a little chance. Eugene, how you doing, mate? Good to have you back on the show. What's crack-a-lacking, buddy? You all right?
Good. I'm scanning the QR code as we speak, even though I'm healthy, but you know what? I'll join you on your journey.
Oh, nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
What do you think about Jed Spence going off to Inter Milan, mate? The Pizza League. What are you saying about that?
Good. I mean, we've always had issues selling players. If De Zerbi doesn't rate him, and no other manager in the past rated him as well, just get him out. As long as we bring somebody else in. I'm not sure if Archie Gray is an adequate backup. So if we bring in somebody else, I'm all for it. Spence, he has his moments. He's been overrated due to his performance for England. But if De Zerbi doesn't rate him, good, sell him. Support the manager. Back the manager.
Yeah. I'm with you. The only thing I would say, right, just bringing back this Daniel Munoz thing, and I'm just looking at go over to the Spurs Hub, by the way, guys. It's like unbelievable stats. It's like the best stats game you can see. There's nothing on the, there's no other stats data that if you're interested. Data MB ain't got shit on the Spurs Hub. Okay, this is all sponsored by the wonderful team at StatsBomb. There's very little in terms of the things that he's at, like his incredible strength. So this is like the score over here is his percentage points relative to other people in his league. And this is obviously the Premier League. On a per 90, it will change, obviously, but let's just do season stats. Daniel Munoz, right, in terms of all of the things that he excels at, deep completions, defensive actions, he's a very well-balanced and decent fullback for a decent wing-back fullback sort of thing. We all know how great he is at getting forward. We all know how fantastic he is at crossing, and his crossing into the box, into a player like Mateta, who's a big lump. For me, fullbacks that are great at crossing, that can overlap or underlap, are all very impressive and all fantastic as long as you have a 9 that can support all those actions. Exactly the same argument for Savinho, same argument for Mathys Tel or Kudus. Like, the value of what they can do is dependent on who you're providing to. The one glaring thing, though, I think that is a little bit missing here, he doesn't really connect the dots in terms of passing. Like, Pedro Porro is the sort of guy that can come forward, can drift in, act as like a second 8 or a third 8, depending on whatever else is shaping up. Leave a little bit of space behind him. There's a yin and the yang of Pedro Porro, but you can rely on Pedro Porro for his deep crosses, his deep completions, and of course his passing, his through balls. Daniel Munoz is, that's what I said at the start of this. He's a little bit more like Jed Spence, but with better final ball, better final product in terms of it's just more direct. And if you're trying to play a De Zerbi system, and this is like, I don't know how we're going to play. I don't know exactly. Obviously, we'll see how we get on. But I do think that there is, first of all, like, it's a relatively fair question to ask whether or not he would want to come from Palace to Tottenham to play less minutes, fewer minutes in a 1 game a week season. And the other question is, does he really provide the same sort of value as what De Zerbi loves about Pedro Porro? And I think that there's a lot of different value that Pedro Porro can't provide, like the galloping, marauding pace that gets behind take players on, all that sort of thing. But I'm curious to know where I rate Daniel Munoz. He's a fantastic fullback, but he's not like Pedro Porro or Neco Williams in that sort of style. They're a little bit different. Profiles and styles make fights. What are you saying on that one there, Jimbo? Do you think there's any, like, or is it maybe that, De Zerbi just wants, variety so he can try different things, different options, different weaponry?
Sean, if I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really hear what you said. I got an email that I had to read.
I'll answer you, Sean.
Sorry, Sean. I was reading an important email I got.
Kick him out, admin. Fucking hell.
I think
I love his honesty. Honestly, mate, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, no, I don't care what you're talking about. If it's not hippos, I don't care.
I got an email from Anglers UK about the latest fishing rod. Hello, it's completely distracting me. It's 40% off. There's 40% off. Go on, Kate. Go on, back on.
Well, I think first of all, to compare the two, Pedro Porro would cost you probably 10 times more, I don't know, than what Munoz would. But I think Munoz is more of the attacking wing back. His movement without the ball. He likes to go and attack the penalty area, making late runs.
He's very smart, Kate. He's a smart footballer.
He is, and I don't think he's a million miles away from Porro. When we went through his metrics of where he's placed in the Premier League for goals, assists, for tackles, for interceptions, he was right up the top. And when he wasn't, he was second or third behind Porro. So I don't think they offer that much difference. But if anything, I think he's got actually more end product than Pedro Porro has. What would worry me most is I think a Munoz really.
This is the point. This is a better point to make, right? Rather than showing you the strengths, look at his weaknesses. Okay, this is Pedro. This is Munoz's weaknesses. Through balls, 0 last season. Okay, look at dribble success, 29th percentile. Only 5 successful dribbles the entire season. Dribble passed a lot. He dribbled past a lot. On ball value defending. These are passes, right? Pressured passes under pressure. Pass percentage under pressure. Errors that lead to a shot. Passes into danger. A lot of his weaknesses, for me, are the areas that you look at Pedro Porro and say that's your strength. Now, again, that might be by design, right? You might want one profile of player for one style and then another for a different game. And so you just have options and weaponry and variety and all those things are fine. But I'm just, for me, like if Pedro Porro is the geezer that De Zerbi wants because he loves him and he thinks he's a world class, right? And we can all agree how great he is. But Daniel Munoz is not the same profile of player at all as Pedro Porro, not in the slightest.
No, but what concerns me about Munoz, if I had to say something, it's probably what concerns me about Porro, and that I don't know how good they are at actually defending. They're both really good at going forward, but I'm not sure how good they both are at defending. They both leave a lot of space. That's what I'd say, but
yeah. Well, I guess, but you need other people then to, like, again, you need people to what you want in a team, in my opinion. If you have a team of 11 individuals and they're all like egos and they're all brilliant at what they do, those teams don't often work. Look at PSG. How much better have PSG been since they got rid of the donuts that are the world-class players in their team? Since they got rid of Mbappe, they've accelerated their success, right? Real Madrid have relatively kind of come under pressure in the last couple of years because they've got too many egos. Tottenham trying to purge some of those egos, like Romero, maybe like Jed Spence. All those things are fine. And I feel like when you have a player that excels in one department, like Pedro Porro does with certain things, you find a way to amplify their strengths and you find a way to cover for their vulnerabilities. So if Pedro Porro is going to get forward, or Daniel Munoz, then you're going to need to have people like the right-sided centre-back in Van Hecke covering. But Van Hecke also has the propensity to sort of leave a little bit donut kind of gaps behind him and gets a little bit too far forward, which makes the need, and you go, well, fuck, if you're going to have Porro or Munoz that are bombing forward in different ways and skills, and then you're expecting the right-sided centre-back to find the need to cover, is Van Hecke the right kind of player? Van Hecke, again, is a wonderful on-ball value merchant, but off-ball, like a little bit questionable at times. So then you're going to look forward and go, oh, is it Tonali? Is Tonali the guy that's going to step in and cover? Or is it going to be a Conor Gallagher? Or is it going to be a Fernandes? Who is it that's going to cover for that? Who's going to protect the vulnerabilities of those right backs?
I mean, I think that if you get Munoz, however you say sodding name, he works better in a back three, whereas Porro will probably be the player that plays in a back four. But it depends, because you've got Robertson there as well. I don't know how much time Robertson's going to get. You've got Senesi there.
But that's the left side, right? So I've got very few concerns about the left side right now. Senesi, Van de Ven, again, different profiles. One's better on the ball, one's better carrying, one's better passing, one's better running, one's better covering back. Left back, you have different disciplines. You've got, I don't know what Sousa is, but certainly Robertson versus Udogie versus Ben Davies as options. You have different skill sets that can. Like Ben Davies isn't going to be the marauding guy that gets forward, but he can make sure he knows his positional sense. He's very good at that sort of thing. So I feel like within whatever De Zerbi wants to do, he's got enough to figure that shit out, especially if you bring in Neco Williams as well. I just worried a little bit about the defensive side of the right-hand side. If you were to have a Munoz or you were to have a Porro playing and you were to have Van Hecke next to it, I just feel like there's positional. If I'm the opposition against a De Zerbi style system with two of those three players playing in that side, every single time Tottenham lose the ball, my first thought is going to be lump it over the top to a left winger or a drifting nine into that channel. That's how I would attack Tottenham.
But what if you had like a Van de Ven, Van Hecke, Senesi back three, then a Tonali and maybe a Gallagher, then a Robertson, Maddison, Fernandes, Porro or Munoz, and then just like a Richie up front?
Yeah, if you play a back three, it changes things, right? And I'll be honest, like I personally think that a back three at Tottenham, I haven't seen enough of it in recent years to fully understand whether we're strong or weak at it. But what I can remind, like the one thing that stands out for me is that if people are saying play a back three, then you begs the question, who out of Senesi and Van de Ven is going to play on the left side of that three? Because for me, when I saw Van de Ven play under Igor Tudor, I thought he was absolutely horrendous as the left of that back three. I thought he was awful. Yeah,
but that's Tudor. I think they'd all given up the ghost by then. Oh, I think Romero's gone. Yeah, look, there's a bomber. Bomber! Yeah, Fabrizio.
Is it a Romano bomber, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's just here we go. Oh, thank God he's gone. Goodbye, Judas. He's gone to Atletico.
Thank God for that.
There we go. What are you saying on that one, Eugene?
Finally,
not on Romero. On what I was talking about with regards the kind of holes in the back.
I don't want Munoz, and for the reason why you mentioned, if you look at Van Hecke, he's great on the ball. He's not the best defensive defender, and Porro, we all know his weaknesses. So Munoz would be even a worse defender than Porro. If it was up to me, I would get a different profile, somebody that we can bring in games if we're up a goal or two. Sit Porro and bring in a defensive replacement. So Munoz for me is just a worse version of Porro. I would want a different profile who can actually
we got Danso,
help us defensively. What's that?
We got Danso.
No, I'm talking about on the right hand side. Porro, right?
Covering that
as
side
the right
either.
back.
You know, do you think that Kevin Danso, Jimbo, is good enough and fast enough to be able to cover his own discipline, plus also the gaps left by, like if you are playing against Manchester United, let's say for example, right, or let's say Chelsea and Mikhailo Mudryk is playing with all that pace that he's got, and Chelsea break us down. Caicedo picks off a pass, turns and just launches it over the top to Mikhailo Mudryk, who's going to be bombing into that left-hand channel, and it's like instinct. That's what Xabi Alonso is going to tell him to do all day long. And Pedro Porro or Munoz or whoever has like vacated that area because they were presuming that we had the ball and it was a donut pass from Fernandes, or these things happen, Tonali, whatever, these things happen. And Danso is the right-sided centre-back, or Van Hecke. Like, neither of them are blessed with pace, like major pace. Danzo's great in the air, but not an over the top. I'm trying to think of the ways that Tottenham can get unpicked, like the locksmith against us. And I still think that is going to be the common theme here. That is going to be the way. It was the way last season. It was the way the season before. If you are a team that's playing against Tottenham and you win the ball in transition, you just lump it into your left-hand channel, and you know that Pedro Porro is not going to be there. And then you know that you've got a right-sided centre-back that has a lot of space to cover. And I don't think Danzo is the guy to do it.
I don't know. I think they're giving him a bit of a disservice. You know, look. The thing with De Zerbi, he's always got a plan. When someone goes forward, someone drops back. So it's. I mean, I'm not that worried about it, Sean. I'm sure De Zerbi's going to have it all covered. If you watch the way that the Zerbi team plays, when people are moving forward, there's always people that are dropping back. And it's, I'm not. I think you're maybe looking into things too much. I think you're worrying too much, I do. And I think that you're giving. I thought in the World Cup, Porro's defending was excellent. I thought it was absolutely excellent. And you're talking the World Cup. That's the best players on the planet. And I think that I've seen people say about Munoz defending. I think he can defend well. I'm not worried about his defending. Not at all.
But Porro had Kubasi next to him.
And he played against some teams, let's be real, in the final, but...
And he had Rodri in front of him.
And the run-in... Sorry, Sean. The run-in, if you look at the teams that Spain play, you cannot compare their attack to the Prem level attacks, other than in the final, potentially. So the level of strikers in the Prem is way different than, I don't know who they played, some second-rate African teams or whatever. So Porro has his strengths, but we need a backup who can actually replace him.
And who is that? Who is that backup?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question.
I genuinely, as much as I rate what Danso did last year, I really do. I think he was probably arguably one of our better players in the squad in a shitty season. We're moving into De Zerbi ball. It's no longer Thomas Frank ball, right? And like we're going to have a higher line. We're going to have a higher expectation of possession, and I think that Van Hecke is clearly going to start. Right, Romero's now gone. The "Here we go" is there, by the way. If anyone hasn't seen it, I see people in the chat saying it. Right, there it is. Here we go. See you later, you dirty little shit. I can't stand you. I hope you have everything that karma should bring. But I don't know if Kevin Danso is the right fit. Like, thank you for everything you've done. I'm not saying we sell him, but I genuinely think that if Tottenham do, like you said, Kate, earlier, if whatever money is allocated from the Jed Spence thing is going to a replacement, if that's the same.
It was me that said it, and they said it on Sky Sports. The money from Jed Spence is going on another right back.
It was me. Don't give Kate the fucking juice. It was you, was it? Sorry.
No. Yeah, I just saw it on Sky Sports. They were
Okay,
talking.
Right, Johnny.
No, they were talking, and they said the money from Jed Spence is going on another right back.
All
Well,
right,
we could be really savage, and we could go and try and get Livramento from Newcastle and ravage them even more.
That's expensive, Kate, for a backup. That's a lot of money. I mean, I would get him in a minute, but
yeah,
that's a lot of money for. But also, what's the issue with Danso? As a backup option, a defender who actually loves to defend, wins all the headers in the box, I think he's a great backup. He's a great fourth option. I don't think many teams have, Danso type as a fourth choice center back. I think it's a great option for us. If we have to go defensive, Van Hecke is not a great defender. Van der Ven is Van der Ven, but Danso, he does all the dirty work without having to, do all the flashy stuff. So
he's old school, Eugene. He's an old school.
Him in the squad, I actually like him.
The funny thing is, if we kept Danso and played him, he'd be better in a back three. And I know I keep saying back three, but I think he would be better in a back three. So
I mean, Kate, I agree. Like, honestly, back three suits all our defenders.
Yeah.
It suits Porro as well, even suits Udogie, right? Porro was brought in by Conte to play a back three as a wing back. Udogie also, right? Conte brought him in to play in the back three. So I think it would suit us really well. But I don't think that De Zerbi is going to play back three, but we'll see. But Danso, honestly, I think he's a great squad option. I wouldn't want him as a starter, but as a squad player, I think.
Right, but if you get injured, if you get a Van Hecke injury in game week 1, right now he is your starting centre back, right?
And he did okay last 10 games or 7 games of the season. Last season again, he's not perfect. He's obviously not good on the ball. But as an old school proper defender, he might be the best on the team, just strictly as a defender.
But he's not very good at receiving the ball and making the right passes.
Danny boy.
I'm not convinced.
Okay, but if he was, he'd be like £80 million.
And I love him. I love him, but I just think when you come to look at De Zerbi's system, he don't fit in any way. I really don't think he does.
He's not going to be there for that, Kate. He's going to be there if we're
but Sean said if you get an injury, he's going to be a starter.
And we are going to get injuries. I feel like people
the thing
are
is,
assuming
Sean,
that we're not going to have any injuries next season.
Yeah, but Sean, the thing is they can't do it all in one window, can they? We've got to be realistic, right? This is something that we're going to have to we're going to have to just live with. They can only do what they can do in one window, And I think that they've done well so far. There's more coming in. So they said as I said on Sky Sports, they said they're going to get another right back, and there's more forwards coming in.
Well, but that's my point, though, right? If you're going to get another right back, are you not going to get another centre back?
Well, there was talk. I don't know if it's true, but I did read that Danso might, if someone come in for Danso, they'd let him go and get in another centre back.
Scalvini for me is a really talented player. He's very, very good on the ball, very good at passing, getting the ball into the box, dribbling forward. Big up to you, Danny, like your hat mate Von Dutch. But yeah, I just think that if Tottenham could go and get a centre back, I would feel a little bit more comfortable. But again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here. Again, I do think that we are adding more unnecessary surplus requirements to the rest of our window when we've still got the lion's share of work to do at the top end of the park. Danny, what are you saying, mate?
You're on mute, darling.
In fact, whilst you're turning your mic on, let me just, if you don't mind, Dan, let me just thank you for some of these super chiddly chit chats. A lot of them are jewels. Big up to Jessica. Thank you very much for the party hat. Big up to Jimmy for life with a jam in. Appreciate you, mate. Bourbon Buzzard member for 12 months. Munoz is quality cover for Porro. Yeah, he is. Yeah, again, I would he want to leave a first team regular spot and come to Tottenham to sit on the bench? I don't know, maybe, but if we can get it done, cool, because he's quality.
Yeah, they've apparently bought a new one, Sean. I don't know. I heard Wolfie say that Palace have bought someone in that spot. I don't know. I'm sure he said that.
Yeah, fair enough. I haven't seen that, to be honest. Big up to Whole Spurs. Says thoughts, bull or not, bullshit or not, Pedro to Barcelona. No, he's just signed a new contract, mate. He's here. He's fully coy. He's fully committed. Love to see it. Love to see this as well. Big up to Blaine Devlin with a gifted 10 Spurs Talk Show memberships. Big up to Blaino. How are you, mate? Good to see you, buddy. Love you, Blaine. Come on the show, Blaine. You got the link, mate. You never come on, mate. Love to get your sweet face on the old chilly chit chat, mate. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. If you did receive one of those from Blaine, one of the most generous, if not the most generous guys in the community, make sure you say thank you for the membership, and we'll get the membership thing, the fan show thing going. Maybe tomorrow night or Friday, or certainly on the weekend. Big up to you. Big up to you, Blaine. Oh, appreciate you. Musings of a football fan. Thank you for the jewels. Appreciate you, mate. Will Kirkman, member for 4 months. Big up to you, mate. Thank you for your loyalty. Appreciate you, buddy. Uncle G's become a new member. Big up to Uncle G. Big up to you, GG for you. GG for you. Appreciate you, mate. See you soon. Spurs, Super Spurs. Blaine is back in. Says, as it stands, I am nearing the panic button for up top. Winding me up, Land. You're winding me up. It's the first window. You can't fix everything, but up top must be the priority in this next 5 or 6 days. Well, according to reports tonight, Savinho is about to be done. Whether it's tonight, tomorrow, or whether it's at the end of the week or the start of next week, it shouldn't be long. I think everyone is essentially assuming it's done. Apparently, Savinho has removed he's deleted his bio. So that must be like one step closer, one step closer to getting done. Big up to you, Blaino. But then it's not, we've got to get someone else in. I still think that we need a 9. I think the 9 is the most important next step. We've got one winger. Hopefully we can get another. But I also think that the 9 is the next monster. Big up to Bertie for the 1 penny. Appreciate you. And also to Harmless for the 1 penny. Big up to you. Toma83 says, member for 26 months, Toma. Thank you very much, mate. Very, very cool of you. He says, Julian Ryerson would be perfect as a right wing back in the De Zerbi system. I haven't run his stats, mate. So I'll have a look, though. I'll have a look, bro. Where's he play? I've heard his name before, but I don't know where he plays. Chile, big up to... Glenny Hoddle, big up to you, Glenny Hoddle, for the super chat as well. Appreciate you. Danny boy, how are you, mate? How you doing? You okay? Danny?
Can you hear me now? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Gave him 20 minutes to sort his fucking mic out the donut. Right.
No. I'm good. How are you guys? How's everyone doing?
Good. It's always nice to have a bit of eye candy on stream. We got Jimbo, now we got Danny as well. It's a good choice, face.
Appreciate that.
John, that's some slander. Yeah, good. Well deserved. Fucking
outrageous.
2-1 to PSG.
Oh, nice.
Come on.
Sorry, Sean. Sorry, Eugene.
I'm good, guys. I'm just happy now. Romero's gone. I think that's brilliant. I think, and the fact that Spence was obviously a bit of I was happy if he goes, to be honest with you. I was happy. I didn't mind if he stayed. I would like him if he stayed. If he goes, it is what it is. And with Spence, look, we have to wait and see who they bring in. But the names that have been branded around, like Munoz, I was calling for Munoz at the beginning of the summer. I thought he's been so good in the Premier League the last couple of years. I'd love him as he's quite an aggressive right wing back or right back, and he can play in a back four. He's done it. He does it for the national team, and he does a pretty good job. Scores goals, he creates, so he's better attacking wise going forward. That's who I'd really, really love. Yeah, and also about fucking time I got my fucking jewels working.
Yeah. I saw you give out 40,000 of them last night to Kate. I haven't seen you give me any.
You know why? Because mine was a proper show. That's why we done a proper show.
You'll get your jewels in due course, Shawnee.
In due course, I like that. Nice.
But no, look, I think we can all. I don't know what you guys are feeling because I didn't really listen in earlier on because I was out. But are you guys happy that it looks like Savinho could be on the verge now?
Yeah. It's obviously what De Zerbi wants. And listen, like I say, I know people are trying to rewrite history. All I've ever said was I felt like the price is punchy, and it is punchy. Of course it is. So but this guy has to come in and deliver some serious output, which he hasn't really done in the Premier League. So like the jury's out. But obviously, when you watch him, he looks like a player that can terrorise defences, and that's great. I'm more than happy. We need to get someone else in as well. It's a good stepping stone, but it's taken over a year, man. So it's like first of all, the here we go is not going to be like a wow bomber. It's going to be like, oh God, thank God for that.
Yeah, finally.
Second of all, I also think that, I want to see everybody hold him to the same set of standards that they do other people.
I don't know, man. Danny,
I was going to say, go on, Eugene. Go on, mate.
I don't know. I'm just saying, Savinho, again, I trust De Zerbi. If that's what he wants, that's what he wants. The fee is insane, but I'm just concerned with Kudus on one side, Savinho on the other side. We're not addressing our main issue, which is goal scoring. So is he a good player now? Maybe. Will he be a good player in a couple of years? Probably. But he's not a goal scorer, and we need somebody to score goals. And with Kudus not being a goal scorer, I'm just concerned we're going to end up against low blocks or just in general, we'll be in trouble. But I trust De Zerbi.
For me, I think clearly it looks like we're going for Premier League proven players. Whether or not you class Savinho as a Premier League proven, right? But he has got Premier League experience and he has played there for the last 2 years, so he knows what it's about. And he can. And I personally, I think Savinho has performed in a system that didn't really suit him under Pep. Pep has got a very certain system.
Why didn't the system suit him?
Because he was predominantly played as a right winger under Pep, and he's a left winger. He's a proper player. Yeah, but he's predominantly a left winger. That's his best position, right? That's where he's coming to play at Spurs. That's where I believe he'll play, right? Unless he plays on the right until
I think
it depends. It could be Tel on the right and Savinho on the left. Because I think Tel's better on the right.
Both of them can do that.
They're true. I agree, Sean, but I also think, and you probably agree with me, the best performances I've seen from Tel in a Spurs shirt for me have been on the right hand side. That's where he's looked the most dangerous, right? Yeah. So I want the kind of old school type wingers who go to the byline, can cross the ball in, and both of them can cross the ball.
Yeah, but who are they crossing the ball into, though?
That's the problem. That's where, I agree with that, right? But I think that's where it looks like if it's not going to be an Osimhen, I wonder who it is going to be, who they're going to bring in for the striker.
I would take Mateta all day long.
Would you take Mateta?
I would.
I'm not sure, Sean.
I would.
I'm not sure.
He's a lump. I need this is the whole point I've been making, right? I've had bets galore up the wazoo, right? I've had so many bets up my jackpot. It's insane that I need him to be able to create the G and the A. And if the G can come from the left, great. But if it's off the right for Mathys Tel, it has to come from the assist side. And in order he's one of the best crossers in Tottenham for sure, right? And he's like Mathys Tel. His crosses are unbelievable.
Yeah, he is good crossing. He's a good crosser.
His set piece work is fantastic as well. And I just think that you need a lump up there. Richarlison's good in the air, but not good enough at so many other divisions. Solanke is just for me, just winds me up, and I'll own it because I backed him, but he's winding me up with his pissy fucking attitude towards fucking life. He comes across like he's in school right now and it's part of the woke agenda. If you got a little boo-boo on your knee, if you have a month off school, you donut. One of these things, right? Because you're not good for my mental health. Well, all that crap, right? Can't stand it. And I feel like he spends too much time watching anime. I'm not a fan of his mentality. You've got to be a mentality monster and you've got to want the ball and be a desire beast to selfish to a T. Someone like Mateta, though, is just an absolute bruiser. He's nowhere near as good as Osimhen. He's nowhere near as other sort of like a Haaland or that sort of, but he's a big fucking lump. Just like this geezer who's 17, apparently, allegedly 17, playing for Villa. That geezer's going to work really well in a bigger, stronger, faster league. Right? You lump the ball up to him, he's going to be able. I've watched him for 10 minutes and I can 60 minutes, and I can tell that he's going to benefit from the current state of football. Right, but you need someone in our team that can find the space and then put his head on it and get it into the corner. And Mateta can do that. I obviously would want Osimhen, but as a secondary tier under the Prem proven thing, someone like a Mateta for me would make a lot of sense.
Look, I wouldn't be against it because I think Solanke, it's so hard to keep him fit. He doesn't stay. I still believe if Solanke stays fit, you can get 15 goals out of him in a season, right? And that's a decent return for a Premier League striker nowadays, unfortunately, right? But his problem is he can't stay fit. He's just worse than Richie has been the last 2 years, right? And if you look at, I think I saw some stats saying that I think Solanke scored over the last 2 years. Solanke scored 22 goals, and Richarlison scored like 17 or 18. I mean, that is quite pathetic, really, for Premier League strikers. But look, at the end of the day, I still think I still think Gakpo's going to be done. I still think Savinho's going to be done, and I still think one more is going to be done. But I've always maintained that I think they're also trying to. At the moment, Jed Spence is gone. They're going to have to replace him. Romero's gone, so that's another one off the list. Whether or not they're going to get rid of one of Berghvall or Sarr, or they get rid of Vicario, because that's another one they're going to have to try and get rid of. And I think they will try to get rid of another striker, and most likely it probably is Richarlison, if they can get another one in. But it all depends. Like I still think they're going to try for Osimhen. I still think they will, personally. Whether or not, if they don't, then I've got no idea who they're going to go for. Like, is it going to be Balogun? Is he going to? Would you take Balogun? Because I'm not sure.
He's not good enough, Benny. He's like Jonathan
I'm not
David.
sure about him.
His attributes will not fit the Prem. He's not fast. He's not big. He's not clinical. I mean, I would take Mikatadze. Again, he's a small guy, but you can see class. He's tacky. He can finish. I don't want Gakpo in the 9. I'm not a fan. Mikatadze, just the way he plays, man, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Would you guys have Mikatadze as a number 9? Mikatadze.
Again, he's small, which is a concern.
Mikatadze, he is a phenomenal player.
I know he's a quality player.
If you're going to have him, it changes what the expectation is from Tel, Savinho, Kudus, all those lot. Because if you're going to do that with Mikatadze, you might as well put Savinho on the right and Tel on the left and let them invert, and then have your fullbacks overlap to the outside, because there's no point in getting your your forwards to get to the byline to whip it into someone who's 5'9". So, like, if you're gonna have a Mikatadze there, I love him. I just don't know how you work him into the system. If you do that, you might as well just have your fullbacks invert on their stronger foot into the channel rather than getting to the byline and crossing it in, because he's not going to win anything in the air.
Yeah, but
so where does he play for Villarreal? Do you know what his main position is?
Yeah, he's a false 9.
He's a false 9. Yeah.
Oh, he's a false 9. Well, is it possible that maybe De Zerbi in a lot of matches might decide to play that false 9? Because he's a technically gifted player, we all know that he's a very good player. But it's like you said, Sean. Like, would you compare him to like the build or the kind of style of like an Alvarez? Not the Alvarez level.
He's not as strong as that. He's like a Georgie Kinclads. He's literally a stereotypical Georgian type of player, right? He's super quick, super tricky, finds unbelievable pockets of space. I always refer to him as like the Georgian Robbie Keane, like an old school sort of 9 that can, like, he's got such short back, or Jermaine Defoe, short back lift, but a little bit more tricky than Jermaine. Jermaine Defoe was like a pace merchant that would get in the shoulder, just like bang, get it in the back of the net. Mikatadze's a sort of guy that just sort of drops he drops deep, and he'll just sort of pick up pockets of space, and where 1-2s and through balls and all that sort of thing can be utilized. But again, if you're going to do that, it's fine. I don't think he solves. He doesn't solve the problem that we have with the current 9s. He's a entirely different profile. He is awesome, though. I would love to have him in certain games against certain teams. I think it'd be fantastic. However, if you're going to do that, you want Tel on the left, who's going to cut in, right? And you'd want Savinho on the right that would cut in, rather than the other way round, where Tel gets to the byline and crosses, because there's no one in the box who can head the ball. Right? Unless you're going to get someone from deep to be the 10 that sort of moves in. But even then, there's no one in our team that is tall enough to really cover that gap. If you could go and get me a Cody Gakpo off the left, and then you had a Mikatadze that could play in the 9, the false 9, and let them drift, and let Cody Gakpo be the beneficiary of all of that work, then it works, right? We need someone that's 6'2" or above to kind of counteract the little and large thing. Because Mikatadze is a super talent, but he's not big.
Sean, or for anyone on the panel, right? If Mikatadze is the only one, say we were to bring in, we don't bring in Nosham, we don't bring any other striker, would you be okay going into the season with the 3 that we have, or 2 that we have, plus Mikatadze as the options. I know it's not the best, but would you prefer that than having just the Richarlison and Solanke and no one else? Because he does offer something completely different to what we've got.
No, like listen, I for me personally, I have loved Mikatadze for years. Right?
I know.
I'm not doing the Johnny thing, but I've spoken about him for a long fucking time. Like, I don't think he fits the Premier League as our number 9 option. I think he would need to be like an additional value play that you bring in, but someone else has to be the primary purchase. Like, if Tottenham were to sign Savinho and then Mikatadze and that was it, I would sit there and think there's more problems than solutions. Even
what
though
what if it was Gakpo, Savinho, and Mikatadze?
Yeah, then I'll be fucking over the moon. Then I'll be over the moon, 100%.
But Gakpo's in a 9, right? He's
a big, like, you can create like a fluid thing where he can float in from the left. The false 9 comes in.
I was going to say, when I've seen him, Sean, he seems to come in from the left a lot.
Yeah.
Who? Gakpo?
No.
Yeah, he
Mikatadze.
Oh, Mikatadze.
Yeah.
What do you mean he comes in off the left? He's a 9, but he hangs out the left-hand side.
Yeah. That's when I've seen him. That's
what I mean. But like, you need people to float in. So it's dynamic roles, right? So Mikatadze would sit there. He'd float into the false 9, or he'd float out to the left, and then the guy who's the left winger would sort of replace that.
In a way, similar to how PSG play, because PSG don't have an actual striker. They have like wingers who are like false 9s, and they all kind of. You see Kvaratskhelia being the furthest forward. You sometimes see Dembele the furthest forward. Obviously, they're elite level players, but on a less elite level, then is that not maybe what De Zerbi might be trying to build at Spurs potentially? Until you can go and get a number 9 that suits him, like unless it is like an Osimhen, right, who kind of gives you everything you want in a striker, in a modern day striker.
I just think he's like, the cost of that geezer is like. You know, I don't even know how Galatasaray can justify it, despite the fact that he, like, obviously his taxes, unless he wants to reduce unless he wants to come and actually test himself in a decent league rather than the kebab league or whatever as Eugene. What do you call it, Eugene? The kebab league, the Donna league, is it? What do you call it?
I'm going to keep it to the chat.
But if he wants to come and test himself in the Premier League, then you can cement him as one of the best in the game at the moment. Until he does that, I don't think you'll know. But he is that good. But he's like, you have to pay him the equivalent of $450 a week or something.
No, but is there not the chance though, Sean? Just like to throw it out there, right? That they could pay him what he's getting paid now, like what he gets paid after tax in English, which is around 330 grand a week or 300 grand a week, right? And then you pay him like a massive signing on fee, right? To balance out like what he's losing every week, right? As if you pay like an upfront fee of like, say, £20 million over the course of a 4 or 5 year contract, that's nearly what, 5 million. If it's 4 years, it's nearly 5 million a year, right? After like on top of his salary. So that could essentially balance it out, right?
But then,
if they want to get him, they'll work something out to get him.
Yeah,
if they want him, they will work something out to get him.
I think so too.
If they're willing to do that, and he's willing to come.
And mentality-wise, he's just a mercenary, right? If somebody's willing to go to Turkey and then to Saudi just for the wages, even though he'd be making good wages anywhere else, instead of testing himself in his prime, right? It's not like he's 32 going to Turkey. In his prime, going there to make extra mil, I don't know if his mentality would fit. I'm not saying he's going to down tools like Muani, obviously, but there is something there with players who just do things for the money. And I'm not sure. There's no question he's talented, right? On his day, he's one of the best. But is he mentally going to be committed to Spurs? I'm not sure.
Eugene, did he go there on them wages, or did he go there on a lower wage and they've upped his wage since he's been there?
No, he went on high wages, right? Like in Napoli, I think he was making pretty decent wages, and then he went there on 400K tax-free. So
sure.
Chelsea offered him a big contract. Not
Exactly.
It wasn't like 300 grand a week English. It was a lot less. It was, I think, closer to like 200, 250, that sort of range, right? So kind of like your Tonali type wages, but obviously they were going to offer him 400 grand a week euros, which is what he would have got after tax, right? That's what he gets. So he gets roughly 400 grand a week after tax in euros. And because he's been there over 18 months, because he did an initial 1 year loan and then he did another year now, he doesn't have to pay any tax back if he leaves the country. So that's another thing that he might take into.
He's not going to come, mate. I think
it's a possibility, Sean.
It's a possibility for sure. It's a possibility. I've heard a lot of people.
What if you see Galatasaray buy Florian Balogun? Why would they buy Balogun? Why would they be interested in Balogun?
Well, sure. If they would buy a replacement, then 100%, right? But until they do, I don't think that he's going to give up the Champions League for a year. Listen. I'm not getting. I love it. I'm not trying to poo-poo it, right? Because I was.
No.
I went out as soon as the link was there from Ekram Turam or whatever his fucking name was. I was like, let's Ekram Kunur. I was like, let's fucking content's got a content. So you try and justify the way it happens, but it hasn't really materialized. No one's really talking about it. I just think that the Premier League is an area where he needs to test himself, but without the tax benefit,
the thing is,
seriously reduce his salary, it won't happen. So I think we should just focus on more realistic options rather than.
But Sean, on the Osimhen one, right? It does depend. Like he will have two options if he was to leave, unless Alvarez goes, which I don't think he's leaving Atletico Madrid personally. He goes to Al Hilal, or whatever it's called, right? And he gets the stupid wages, or he decides he does want to fulfill a dream that he's always had, which was to play in the Premier League, right?
Sure.
And then he has to see what. And I personally don't think there's any other team in the Premier League they're going to offer him what Spurs would offer him. Just in my opinion.
And that to me is a little bit of a concern, though, right? I do want to show this tweet, and I want to let's have a little chance at. I'm not trying to move the conversation on, but it's a little bit of an interesting one. This is that Enya Collins, who I think does a little bit of work on Oso Spurs, right? And she sort of summarised in tweet level stuff what I think I've been thinking about some of these contracts. Micky deserved a pay rise, but 240 grand a week feels rich. I still feel like Spurs are confusing correlation with causation. Right? I'd like bang on. Successful teams have high wage bills because they accumulate elite players, not because they pay everyone more. And I've got to be honest. I think that she sort of nailed in 120 characters a concern that I think is not necessarily right. She's not necessarily right saying this, but I think it's worth chewing over. Like everyone at Tottenham Hotspur has, we've all known for a long time that Tottenham don't pay big wages, right? We haven't paid big wages. Daniel Levy legacy was tight as a duck's ass, whatever else. We're starting to do that now, but there's other teams that have done that in the past that are now unwinding desperately, trying to unwind the consequences of doing that. Manchester United, who consistently earn a hell of a lot more money than Tottenham because of their global brand, because of their stadium, because of the Premier League, the generally consistent Champions League revenues, are then a couple of years out of it, whatever. And I do just feel to some degree that as part of this sort of rebrand ENIC 2.0, it was all the dirty old, that old man Daniel Levy's problems. He was the one that was holding us back. It's the same. It's lipstick on a pig. Part of the rationale that is got Tottenham fans, even though they're frustrated now because it's been about 6 weeks since the last big bomber. But at the start of the summer, everyone was like, "Look what's happened! Daniel Levy's gone, and suddenly we're bringing in monsters." Well, we massively overpaid for Fernandes. We massively overpaid for Tonali. We are, to some degree, responsible for the market in which we are now operating in the hardest part of the game. We are also paying players at our football club that finished 17th twice, that a lot of people were questioning the motivations of, and whether they were rats, Micky van der Ven being one of them. Last season, we paid Romero, right? We upped his wages from 100 grand a week to 200 grand a week or whatever it was. Did that bring out a better version of Romero? No. It brought out a more entitled version of Romero that utilised the leverage associated with whatever the release clause was to get him gone. He fucked off when we needed him most. Paying someone more that is already at the football club that to some degree was responsible for why we almost got relegated anyway doesn't make them a better player. It makes them feel like they're more entitled, in my opinion. I'm not saying that she's right. I'm saying that she's bringing up quite a relevant point, and I think we should discuss it. Is 240 grand a week for Van der Ven? Are we setting precedents here for people that don't really deserve that sort of money? Is Micky van der Ven really a 240 grand a week player? Jimbo, let me come to you first.
Well, I don't agree with a lot of what you just said there, Sean.
Were you even listening to what I just said, though, mate?
I was listening. I was listening intently this time. Right? I was listening this time. I think to myself that we was paying, was it 43% of our turnover in wages? Right? It's the football. They're the stars of the club, right? They're the ones that people go and watch. So the wages needed to go higher at Spurs. And Van de Ven, for me, he's a top class player, right? And I don't blame him for his head dropping last year one bit, with the shit that we went through, with the manager we had.
Well, isn't he responsible for it, mate?
Well, it's not like he went out there and didn't try. He did try, but he had a lot of shit around him, right? That just wasn't good enough. Right now, when they bought in Tonali, definitely worth the money. Right, I'm not sure what Fernandes is
worth £100 million, yeah.
For me, yeah, because you're not going to get you are not going to get these players come to your club, right, unless you pay the money for them. And what I said on our show a few days ago is it will balance itself out, Sean, over time. Right, we have to initially pay this money to get these players to come in, right? But after we've built our squad, and then if we start doing well, which touch wood we will start doing well, and we move up the table, get back in the Champions League, start winning stuff, you will get the better players want to come, right? And then it will even itself out where you won't have to pay over the odds for these players.
Where's that logic coming from? If everybody at the football club, right, you've got 25 people in your squad. If everybody at our football club is earning 200 grand a week, right, just say 200.
Yeah, but it won't be like that. It's not like that at any club, is it? You know, maybe PSG, I'm not sure, but you're going to get, it's because you're not going to have, we're never going to have a squad of all superstars. You're never going to get that.
Micky Van de Ven is earning £12.5 million a year, £13 million a year before your sponsors, before your other things, right? That's just in his weekly salary. Maybe it ends up being 15 million quid a year in terms of bonuses, right? Micky Van de Ven.
So would you rather have lost him than pay him that money?
I think we're going to lose him next summer anyway. I think we're going to go through the exact same thing.
I don't agree with that either.
But you said that to me last year about Romero.
No, he did not. Don't you start trying all that, Shawnee.
I'll tell you exactly what I said about Romero. Right? I said to you, we will be lucky to get 40 million from Romero when he goes up for sale because of his character, because of the way he is.
When did you say that?
I said that about a year ago. That you'll be lucky. Well, when they said about selling him, Kate, did I not say that?
He did. He also said about elephants, and you were wrong about that as well, Shawnee. So swivel.
Yeah. Look at Kate. Look at Kate. Don't. Fuck off. Go get out of there.
I think for the initial,
you can fuck off at all.
I think for the initial part of this rebuild, right, we're going to have to overpay for players, right, and we have to up our wages if we want to move forward. We can't stay stagnant. You know, these Micky Van de Ven could have gone to Chelsea or somewhere else and got 240. He's a top player, and so but it will even itself up over time if we do well. Sean, if we do well, and we're a very rich club.
I don't think it does even itself out. I think it sets precedence. This is where I disagree with you. I think it sets precedence. Whether or not we can share the same opinion about Micky Van de Ven using us as leverage to leave next summer, well, you know, I was right about Romero when I said it, right, and I think I'll be right about Micky Van de Ven. Unless Tottenham suddenly get back to second or third in the league, I think next summer, if we finish 7th, 8th next season, he will have some release clause. There'll be something in there that will allow him to move for 80, 90, whatever, 70 million quid next season. Eugene, let me bring you in though. Where I disagree with Jimbo is just that it will even itself out. I don't think it does. I think it sets in place certain motions and certain rolling stones, and I think that it can get into a snowball effect pretty quickly. Everybody else will want that sort of money, and I just don't think that Micky Van de Ven had a very good season last year at all. And I think he was part of the problem. And I think his behaviour, everyone called him the rat, or everyone called him the rat. Kate, don't even pretend like you didn't call him the rat when you were on the channel last season about Romero, about Micky Van de Ven.
I did.
Eugene, I know you did as well, right? We all did.
Yeah, for sure.
You all thought he was the rat.
Of course.
I agree with you, Sean. Look, he's a good player, but I don't think he's an elite or top player. If you listen to the neutrals, obviously most teams would have him, but he's not an elite center back just yet. So now, if we're even talking Osimhen, if Osimhen looks at the squad, if he sees that Vanderman is making 240, he's going to ask for 340, right? That's Sean's point. Like, the wages, we should be paying the wages to top players, to Kane's, to Sons. Van der Ven, I don't think he's on that level yet. For a team that finished 17th twice, I don't think personally we have any top players. We have good players, not top players. So yes, we should pay higher wages, and we should overpay. So to Jimbo's point, Tonali for 100 mil, to me that's acceptable. If you look at Man City, when they started building their project, they had to overpay to bring some players in, right? Because nobody wanted to go there. I'm fine overpaying in transfer fees, but wages, that's a quick way to blow up your budget. And again, next season in 2 years.
Man United did it, and then now they're doing desperately to wind it back.
Yeah, if you look at Xerxes and if you look at Ugarte's and Casemiro's, I mean, all those players came in on huge wages, and they messed up their wage structure. So we should pay top wages to top players. Van der Ven, he's a good player. To me, he's not elite. And based on how he performed last season as a captain, I want more evidence that he's committed. I don't want him to be like Romero.
There's not many teams, Eugene. There's not many teams Van der Ven doesn't walk into. Not at all. I don't know how you can say
he's a better profile for certain teams, right? But if you were to put, if Crystal Palace had the money, right, would they want a Micky van der Ven? I would say no, right? But Micky van der Ven didn't have a good season last year because he was playing Thomas Frank ball. He was exposed in a lower, deeper line. Now, in the De Zerbi system, he might suddenly revive himself to being the superstar that we saw under Ange Ball, right? Because he has that unbelievable get out of jail free card pace, and he's got a wonderful sliding tackle. He has. So, and again, if you were to look at Barcelona or Liverpool or the best teams in the game that play with a super high line that expect 75% possession, and occasionally you're going to get caught out, Micky van der Ven would walk into most of those teams. But would anybody, if they had the money that doesn't play that system, pick Van der Ven as the best obvious candidate for any team in world football? The answer is no. It's a horse's
but you can say that about so many players, Sean. It's such a bad argument. I'm sorry.
It's a fantastic argument.
It's a terrible argument.
It's a terrible argument.
Oh, go on then. Go on then. Kate and Jimbo. Go on then.
You can pick so many players that won't fit into certain teams, but will do fantastic in other teams. I mean, that goes for most players. But
that's why you buy them.
I just think to myself, this is such a shit argument. I'm really passionate about this because us as Spurs fans, right, we've been fucking starved of success, right? And we have been fucking through the mill, left, right and centre. I went into a depression over Tottenham, right? And I'm talking about a deep depression. That's how much I love this club. And now all of a sudden, right, we're starting to move forward. We're paying proper money for proper players, and we're paying them a good wage because we want them to stay here and giving them good contracts. Let's not fucking sit here and moan, because I'm sure the club, Tottenham Hotspur, right, are really, they're a smart club. You think that they're going to let us get into the shit? Of course they're not.
Jimbo, did Van der Ven show you last season that he's committed to Spurs and that if we give him the wages?
Eugene, be careful, because if you make relevant points, Kate and Jimbo are going to
No, sure. If I could take you out, I'll take you out now.
Why it's a terrible argument. Eugene, I was unhappy last year. You haven't explained why it's a bad argument. You haven't explained why it's a bad argument.
What I'm saying to you is, right, Eugene, right, he had a bad year last year, but we know he's not a bad player, Eugene. We know he's a top player.
I agree, but
is he a top player in all departments of defensive work? Is he great aerially? Is he great defensively, positionally sense? Or is he only...
Aerially is probably his weakest spot.
His positional sense was dog shit. As the back three, everyone's talking about we're playing a back three. Oh, De Zerbi's going to play a back.
But Sean, you have to remember.
Right now. Just wait a minute.
Hold on. You have to remember.
Right?
Look at who.
So many areas of his game that need development. There are so many areas of his game that do not make him a world-class player.
Sean,
fucking dog shit.
No one said
I've been of the opinion.
Money,
Sean,
though, Kate.
It's not though. It's not. If he was brilliant aerially and all these other fucking things, he'd be on 300, 400 grand a week, Sean. We've only
like Van Dijk, like Van Dijk,
like Van Dijk. Exactly. It's an absolute
Van Dijk is world class
argument for argument's sake.
Yeah. He's world class because he's
years
ago when he was young. Micky van der Ven is getting played. How many defenders in the fucking top 5 leagues are getting paid 240 grand a week before bonuses? How many, Kate?
Let me ask you this.
Hang on, Jim. Hang on. How many top defenders were getting 70 grand a week when they were performing like they were under Ange Postecoglou, Sean?
He was 22 years old when he signed.
Fucking what? If you're old enough, you're good enough, or good enough, you're old enough.
Sean, let me ask you a question. Sean, let me ask you a question, right? Let's say, right, that we knew that they were going to offer Van der Ven 240 a week, right? And they decided to sell him. What would you have said? Would you have said, shit, they should have fucking kept him and give him the 240 a week, or would you rather him have gone?
Depends on what you got for him, where he was going, and what the play.
It don't matter where he was going. He's just going from us.
No, it does matter. It does.
Well, who gives a shit where he's going?
The manager he's playing for, it matters. The state of the football club. There's so many variables. If you're just going to isolate anything, you can sit there and say Romero. Just the idea of Romero leaving for 30 million quid. What does that look like? I'd say it's a fucking disgrace. But with all the other variables baked in, that he's an arsehole, he deserted us, he'd hold up the fucking Malvinas flag.
He's never been
all that
consistent.
stuff baked in. You kind of go.
So would you rather keep? I'll put it in a different way. Would you rather keep Van der Ven and pay him 240 a week, or not have given him 240 a week and let him go somewhere else?
Am I ultimately disgusted by the price enough to have said don't do it? No, not yet. But I do think. But that's not the point. That's not the fucking point.
Sean, that's a normal wage for a player. That's a normal wage for a player of that level right now in modern football.
What level is Micky van der Ven? What level is he?
That he would go to a top team and still do well.
Purely because of his skill sets for a top team.
Which makes him a player, a special player, which makes him a player that a lot of top teams would take.
Oh, but that doesn't mean that we're the top team that can make use of that stuff. It's a different.
But also, Sean, we got
to build to be that top team, and to build to be that top team.
Yeah.
You need players like Van der Ven. You need players like Tonali. You need players like Fernandes. You need players like Van Hecke.
Sean, I need to say a point. Hold on, before you do.
No, Danny, just wait a second, okay? Just wait 1 second, because this is winding me up. I don't have a problem.
It's winding me up at all.
No, you're winding me up, Jimbo. Just wait a minute.
Get him out.
Okay. The only point I was making was about this bird's fucking tweet. Okay, it was the start of the conversation. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he doesn't fit the Zerbi ball. If anything, he does fit the Zerbi ball more because we're going to try and be that team. I'm just saying the whole conversation was based around the idea that correlation and causation are two different fucking things. And she's making the point, whether she's right. If you remember what I said, all I said was that there is an argument to sit here and say that maybe this narrative of you just pay players the more money, it doesn't always work out well. There's plenty of teams out there that have gone down that path and ended up getting themselves in financial trouble or are winding things back to the part where you have Mark Goldbridge getting furious by the fact that United can't compete with Tottenham for certain players. Well, Tottenham won't be able to compete with current versions of Tottenham if we just pay fucking money. Okay, and with Micky van der Ven specifically, if you're making out like he is a perfect centre-back, like, do me a fucking favour. There is loads of areas of his game that are weak.
I never said he was perfect.
At 240 grand a week, you are talking about a world-class top 5 player in his position. I could probably name you 6 players, 6 centre-backs that earn more money than him in world football as a centre-back. That's the point I'm making.
Well, the point I'm making.
How many?
we're talking about a guy that ran the whole length of the pitch and scored. We're talking about a guy that saved the ball on the line in a final of a European competition.
Exactly.
Right? This guy is worth £240,000 a week, Sean. And this season, right under De Zerbi, I'm sure he's going to show it.
Not just that, Jimbo.
I'm not saying every player. I'm not saying every player that comes in needs to go on them sort of wages, because not every player is going to be of that standard that comes in, right? They're not going to be all.
I've never had so much waffle.
It's going to.
But also, right? There's an argument for me anyway. Like I've been saying this. I think playing with Van Hecke is going to make him a better player, because I think playing with someone like Romero, right? He is a frustrating player to play with because he's so egotistical. Yet he doesn't put the team first, right? He always puts Romero first, right? Always, and that's always been a problem. And I was listening to an ex-footballer talk about this as a similar thing to what I'm going to say. Essentially, it's like when you're playing with someone like that who is so what's the word? He's so unpredictable, right? Because 1 minute he could get a red card, then your whole game's changed. 1 minute he could play amazing. 1 minute he just has these awful passing from the back because he's not concentrating. Like he just doesn't have his 100% effort. And I think that takes a lot away from Van der Ven, and it doesn't help when you're in a defensive partnership. Just look at the example of Toby and Jan when they played together. Their chemistry together and what they knew about how each other played the game and what they were like, right? That's what made the partnership one of the best in Europe for a couple of seasons, right? So if Van Hecke comes in, I think there'll be a far more communication between the two centre-backs, and I think it'll make both of them better players, in my opinion. And I think you're going to see Van der Ven go up another level, and it's going to show a lot more of what we've all been wanting to see from him
100%.
On a more consistent basis, because he's going to play with someone who is far more consistent.
Not only that, Sean, you sit there with the gumption to moan about Romero being this, that, and the other, and he was on 195 grand a week, and I didn't see you crying about that, you bozo.
What are you talking about? What?
I didn't see you crying about his wages.
Fuck! Right! Off!
I've got him, Jim. I've got him hook, line, and sinker here. I'm thinking
what wages is Van Hecke on?
I don't know. Let's find out.
I don't know, but I'm sure it's too much in Sean and Eugene's opinion. He should be on a £5 a week, apparently.
What's for Eugene ain't done nothing.
If we're going to call him Van Dijk as well, then I'm going to have an issue, right?
Van Hecke earns 105
not call people Van Dijks.
How much?
You know,
105.
According to
Okay.
According to AI, but like we found out last night that when AI talked about carps being intelligent, that the AI got the answer from a fucking fishing blog, the picture of which, like the thumbnail of which, had a fucking carp with a pair of glasses reading a book. You know, what are we doing here? So I don't know if we trust AI.
I totally understand this argument if we were sat here going, we've bought in Van Hecke and we're paying him 240 a week. That's madness.
You're missing the fucking point of what I brought up. No, you are. You haven't listened to a fucking word I'm saying.
You know what I think
it's not about Van der Ven.
It's PTSD from Daniel Levy. This is what it is. Oh, Levy's so good. He only pays this much wages. He's a genius. Well, fuck Levy. This guy's now getting 240 grand a week. This is how it is from now on. Like it or lump it.
Hey, why have we been giving up a shit ton of goals the last 2 seasons with elite players like Porro, Romero, Van der Ven under 4 different managers? Frank, who played the back line,
because that's exactly why 4 different managers and
low block. No, but under Frank
and 4 different styles and
under low block, and also giving out so many chances.
Also, this argument really pisses me off about why the defenders have played so badly. Just all you have to do is look how fucking shit that midfield was. Our midfield was full of little boys, right?
Yeah.
Who got bullied every time they played on the pitch, right? And when you get bullied like that, what does it do? It puts pressure on the defense, right? So they're taking more and more and more and more, right? Of course they're going to make mistakes, and of course they're going to concede, because when you pile up enough pressure, right, someone is going to make a mistake, and that's what happens, right?
You've got to win individual matchups.
If you look at De Zerbi when he came into Spurs, right, for the last 7 games, we faced the least amount of shots in the Premier League, right? What does that tell you? It tells you that he brought Bentancur back in because he was come back from injury, and it did enough to shore up the midfield enough with Paulinho, right, to not have as many shots against us, and we were making far less mistakes in defence. And also Romero wasn't playing, so you have to look at it from that aspect as well.
But also, it tells me that those teams were on vacation already. So let's not say that we were amazing. Everton, Villa, they didn't even try. And Danso did a great job. No, again, I'm not saying that Van der Ven is bad, but I'm just saying before we say that he's Van Dijk on that level.
Exactly. Liverpool was on that level last season as well. It's just sometimes it's arguments for argument's sake, and it's a load of fucking nonsense. I don't care.
No. Sorry. I'm not even going to fucking.
Can I land? Can I land?
No, you can't. Not when you start something with a precursor that is like a load of absolute bollocks I've never heard. Before I go any further, I'm gonna come back and bury Kate and Jimbo in a second. But before you do,
I can't wait for that. There's a first time for everything.
Oh, listen to Chippy Kate. She's got her husband on the show. There's 1,400 people watching, and she's putting on a good effort. And the chat have taken their side. Yeah. Go on, do your thing. If you love Kate and Jimbo like we do, it's all fun and games. If you love them, please do subscribe to Kate and Jimbo. There's the link, guys. Make sure.
Otherwise known as the official mudding channel of Sean Butler, if anyone wants to come over.
Mud talk show.
It's all fun and games. You know what's interesting though, right? If you have been paying attention, if you've been watching for the last hour and a half, what you will have seen was me do like a loaded question to Jimbo, and he literally admitted that he wasn't listening to a word I fucking said, right?
I did.
And then since then, they pretended, the pair of them, like they are listening to what I'm saying and then arguing against the point that I wasn't fucking making. Okay, which is typical of these two because they have got the attention span of a fucking car. Okay, so if you do...
Leverage fish in the fresh water, let me tell you. At least we're not goldfish. That's why you've had to go on Oxford Natural because of your goldfish memory, you bozo.
It's good banter. It's great stuff. Please, guys, get over to Kate and Jimbo. There's the link right there. And just if you're on the screen, that's got a link that can click on the chat. Even on your TV, it's very easy to do. Right, smash the like button for them. Smash the subscribe for them, and please also smash the like button on this show if you've enjoyed it. We appreciate any love. Also, there's a load of super chats. And sorry, whoever was going to come in there. Oh, so that's what I was going to get back to Barry and Kate. Let me just come back for 1 second. I'll do that just real quick. There's a lot of super chats building up here. Spursy Bingo says, bye-bye elephant. I think that is, or bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye rat. Bye-bye rat. That's about Romero. Bye-bye the rat. Big up G, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Big up to G Giant for the jewels. Big up to Bertie for the jewels. Big up to Chad. My man, Chad. How you doing, bro? Big up to you for the jewels as well, bro. Big up to you, mate. I hope you are well, my man. I'd like to catch up soon. Uncle G says, Guevaro Reed to replace Jed at left back. And Morgan Gibbs White at the 10 alongside Osman up top. Who the fuck is Guevaro Reed? I've never heard of him. Let me know where that guy's from. I don't know. Anyone can do a little. I'll do a search in a minute. Big up to you though, Uncle G. Appreciate you, mate.
Feyenoord.
Oh, he's going to be the next. Gift Orban or the next Santiago Jimenez. Then, won't he? You know, that's what we're going to do there. I'm not going to jump on board any of them anymore because those things don't ever work out, according to you bozos in the chat. Big up to Blaine Devlin. Although Santiago Jimenez has gone to Porto, one of the most successful teams of all time. I'm just saying. Anyway, Super Spurs TV says, if all you want is a lump who has Prem experience, why are we not considering Liam Delap, who is apparently available for 25 to 30 million? He was clinical for Ipswich. That's actually a worthwhile conversation, guys. Anyone got any interest in... Or are we just remembering him lately from his Chelsea shit show? Because he has been a shit show at Chelsea, but he was an absolute lump and a menace at Ipswich. Thoughts
all depends what wages he's going to be paid.
240.
Oh, well, I'm
On
about to
241. On 241.
You got to go again. Got to go.
Sean is thinking in his head, thank God I'm single. This is exactly why I'm single.
Exactly why I'm single. Bugsy would never fight back like this. Although Bugsy thinks that about all the shit we get on with. Any takers on Liam Delap or no interest at all from the chat?
No, if you want to move forward like we're moving forward, Delap's not the answer, is he?
Well, he was fantastic at Ipswich, but he don't seem to be doing it.
He was fantastic at Ipswich.
He was, but maybe that's his level. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, look, if the Zerbi felt like he could change him and bring back the level that Ipswich Delap, then I would take him. Look, if the Zerbi feels that he can, look, because he's done it a lot of players, right? He's shaped a lot of players. Look at players like Matoma, right? No one knew who Matoma was, and he brought him in, and he became one of the best wingers in the league, like in terms of output as well. So he's done it for a lot of different positions. And look at the players that Brighton sold under him, right? They're all playing at top.
Ferguson did well.
Ferguson as well.
But
remember Ferguson under him?
Yeah.
Look, if we have
Ferguson under him.
Yeah, but if we have Richarlison, Delap, Solanke, for me, that would be shocking. Like as a squad option.
I agree with that.
Under a top striker, cool. I'm good with it, but not as a starter.
But that's a good question. Someone put it in the chat. Would you take Lancashire over Delap? Would you have rather had Lancashire over Delap?
No, I actually think they're similar sorts of players. I actually think they're similar sorts of players. I think Lancashire's just a step ahead. But I think Will Lancashire will be a fantastic player. I think he's going to have.
We've got a buyback clause, don't we? And a buyback clause, so we could always. I think he'll end up coming back if he does well. In 2 years'
buyback,
time.
but match, right? So we have to we can match, but it's not really a buyback.
Is it match?
Yeah,
I thought we did have. I thought we did have an actual buyback.
Oh.
Hey, those things, like it's a new theme, right? Like, listen, again, you have to get up quite early in the morning to like catch me in bed and impress me with some new version of how people at Tottenham do things. Like Real Madrid selling everybody of their young talents with all these matching clauses because it worked out for Nico Paz, where they basically sold him on an indefinite loan with like 8 million quid and then a 9 million quid and a 10 million quid kicker, and then they bought him back and instantly sold him back to Como for 60 million euros. Because he's one of the best players out there, it doesn't mean that is proof in the pudding. It does. For me, it's bollocks. Okay, we did it with the Irish kid Parrott. We haven't activated that one, despite him having a great year. It might be the new flavour of a contract thing, and Tottenham now have got the new template. It's a new template. We sell a kid. They're fucking. Well, these are the conditions. We're putting. It's the same thing with all of them. Whether or not we actually activate any of them,
even in everything, Sean. We're putting sell-ons in everything. Even the Romero deal apparently is a 15% sell-on.
Yeah, I know. It's like what's his name's come in fucking Rafi Mawson. And we've got
smart business though.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it, but like not.
You're moaning again, Kate.
It's templating fucking styles, right? Because he's come from Man City and he's gone. Well, I've got to like prove my worth. I just, to me, like everything about Tottenham Hotspur Football Club right now feels like it's trying to prove a point rather than just getting on and doing things. And I feel like they are so determined to prove that the previous model of how we did things was awful, which it might have been to some degree, right? But it also got us to a place where we were in European football 15 out of 17 seasons. Everything, and Ali Gold, bless him, I love him to pieces, but he has become a fucking voice piece, a mouthpiece for the PR machine. They got there wasn't sufficient expertise in certain areas of the football club. Well, what sufficient areas of expertise have you employed since? A chief of propaganda and a chief of it's like it's ridiculous.
Are you not happy the way we're headed,
It's
Sean?
so transparently obvious to me, and I'm frustrated that other people can't see it, that they're buying into it. They're fucking getting hook, line, and sinkered to the carp. You know, it's like, to me, it's annoying that this new model is like every single player that we sell, they go through the same process: 20% sell them for your profits, a buyback matching clause, and then 9 + 4. It's like they're just sort of going, oh, we've sold another kid, let's just roll out the template. There's nothing personal about any of these things. It all feels like it's rinse and fucking repeat in a new model. I guarantee you, and guarantee you. But I will be absolutely astonished if we buy any of those players back ever in the future, regardless of how well they do.
Yeah, look, Sean, I kind of agree with you there in the sense of I think that most of the buyback clauses are going to be a waste of time, but it doesn't hurt to have them in there. It doesn't make a difference, does it? It just gives you the option if one of them, like Lancashire, becomes a superstar, that you can buy him back. So it doesn't really hurt us or the club in any way whatsoever. But I mean, look, I'm watching you, right, and you seem really frustrated with things. Are you not happy the way Spurs are heading? Do you think?
I think my life in general.
Yeah,
he's
no,
craving it.
I'm frustrated tonight on several things. I'm frustrated.
He's craving a bomber.
I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that we have let Romero go. Our selling patterns look predictable. I'm frustrated that we haven't got anything like value for money for Jed Spence. I'm frustrated that Romero managed to manipulate the situation, act like an absolute see you next Tuesday, and exactly played the cards that his agent told him to play to engage in a situation where he's fucked off at pennies in the pound, but relative to his new value, despite what a donut he is. He has set a precedent at Tottenham Hotspur to act a certain way, to engineer a certain move, and we have bought into it hook, line and fucking sinker. That winds me up. I'm also pissed off about the fact that I realised after the fact that an elephant, a specific brand of elephant, can actually handle a hippo in a fight. Right? I'm a little bit annoyed by the fact that people seem to think that carps are really intelligent and that's why not many people catch them on a fishing rod. That can't be true. And more than anything else, I'm really wound up that Kate, who's been on my channel about 1,000 times, has suddenly caught a fucking wind of enthusiasm and has bought into some bulkiness because her husband's here giving her the fucking pat on the backside and she's returning one to him. And the people in the chat are encouraging the pile-on. All of that stuff is winding me up.
It's because I'm right.
Has anything to do with the point I was making about setting precedents for players that don't deserve the money that they are earning after last season's behaviour?
Let me just say one thing. If he hurries up and gets through these tiddly chit-chats, I'm looking forward to being buried by a bozo. It's never happened in my life. So, get through the tiddlies.
Just let me say to Sean, right? Sean, the thing is with Spurs, right? I think at the minute we're in quite a big transition period, right? And we've got a lot of people on the books we've got to get rid of. Now, someone like Jed Spence, it maybe went too cheap, but no one in England coming for him, right? There was talk that people were coming in for him. So he went abroad. You're never going to get the money you want to get, right? Romero kind of cut his own price with the way he acted. You're right there. So, but at least he's gone. Then what the Tottenham need to do now is have a clear out. They're going to lose a few million, right? Which is not going to kill the club, the money the club make. And then when it's a reset, we start again. Right, and then we don't let this happen again. The club doesn't let this happen again. You know, this is like a transition period where we are going to have to get rid of some players, and we're going to have to take a cut on some of them to get them out the door. Like what the Vicario, they said on TalkSport, Vicario is going to probably go on loan.
Yeah, it's another fucking perfect example. So in general, I'm joking about Kate and Jim. I'm joking about you. I love you guys. It's all fun.
We know that, you donut.
Of course, okay. And the carp thing and the hippo thing, put that to one side. But I am genuinely frustrated. I am 100% frustrated with what has been presented as this new look ENIC 2.0 that are like suddenly like rectifying all of the problems of the last fucking era, and their actual demonstration of that is to overpay in everything and to not get any real major improvements yet in the areas that are the most deserving and dire needs to improve. And to some extent, so much of the fan base are buying into the kind of the way it's being positioned rather than being able to just look at things as a clear-eyed and bushy-tailed, just looking at things and going, is this model better? Well, it might be better than the last frustrating model because you haven't seen the outcomes of this model. But if you were to look at some of the other teams that tried this model, they have problems down the track 2 years' time. So when you say, Jimbo, it's a transitional period, it won't happen again, there is absolutely no evidence to support that narrative. It will happen. It has, the precedents are set, and there are problems that are faced in a year or two's time where suddenly Spurs have gone from 42% wage to turnover ratio to 60 to 70. And when the club only makes 550 million, if you're dropping 400 million quid on wages, and then you also are not fucking able to sell anybody at their worth at the same time as overpaying everybody that you're buying in, there's problems that come from that environment as well. It's out of the frying pan into the fire. It's a different problem, but it's just as problematic. And I think if people can't see that, then it concerns me.
Right, I get what you're saying. Right, hang on 1 second, Danny. I get what you're saying. But this what I'm saying to you is, right, it doesn't mean that they're going to keep doing that. They're going to keep losing money on players, because if you buy the better players, you're going to get the better money for them when it comes time for them to leave, right? Now, you mentioned Man United. Man United's problem was they, for years and years and years, were buying shit and paying 200, 400 grand a week to players that weren't worth 100 grand, 100 million. So what I don't think Tottenham will end up going down that route. I think it's just this transition period. We've got to overpay to bring the players in, right? And for me personally, Van de Ven on 240 a week, I think is reasonable. I don't think that's over the top on the standards of what people are being paid. So I think that maybe you're worrying about something that ain't going to turn out.
I'm not worried. Obviously, the energy is just like, it's just fun, right? I'm genuinely not losing sleep over it. Because of Oxford Natural, the sleep I'm getting is absolutely solid. But
maybe you just
I do think there's an elephant in the room that is growing. It's getting inflated every day.
I know, and that beat the hippo. Sorry, Daddy.
I've got to do this. There's so many of these dual things back, and we're going to get through. But I have just gone on a rant. So it's anyone who wants to respond to my rant.
Yeah, go, Danny.
No, it's just to say, like, I get what you're saying about that, right? It reminds me a little bit of like when Arsenal did it. You know, when they brought in like Aubameyang for 300 grand a week, and Ozil, they paid him wages. It's like this kind of thing, right? Yeah. Right, Pepe. Yeah, so I understand there is that risk element to it, right? But I personally, what I see from what they're trying to build is they're trying to build the right players, and of course, like for De Zerbi, right? And then they're not targeting, like, they haven't gone out and gone and got a Pepe, right? They've had a clear plan of what they want for their first stage of this project, right? Which is Premier League proven players, right? And for me, is it really going to be that bad to pay Premier League players, right, those sort of wages if they're going to get you a return on the wages that you pay them, right? So, for example, you go and pay Gakpo 200 grand a week if he comes in, right? If he's going to give you a GA of 15 to 20 in a season, right, that's a fucking good return, right? So you'd say in modern day football, that's worth it, right? So it's different. I think that argument of paying players too much, yeah, it does set a precedence, right? But if you want to grow your football club, you're gonna have to start by doing this sort of stuff, right? By enticing the players.
Show me a recent player in the last 5 years in the Premier League that was on a contract that got a bumper pay packet that became a better player as a consequence.
I don't know. I'd have to research.
But I can name you probably 3 or 4 that are people that have fucked it, right? Romero's one, right? Obviously, Rashford.
Romero's always been a player that I've not liked, like, for a long time.
Rewarding him didn't pan out in any way, shape, or form, did it? Right?
Yeah, but again, Sean. What
about Rashford? What about Casemiro?
Again, they're 2 examples of complete anomaly of players, right?
They're not.
These are 2 of the most egotistical players around.
Casemiro came in at 30 years old and got a 400 grand a week fucking pay packet. And then
Casemiro of all players was a 5-time Champions League winner.
Mohamed Salah,
right?
Did that work out? Mohamed Salah got 450 grand a week. What happened to him?
I'm sorry, Mohamed Salah, the guy who won them the Champions League and the Premier League, right?
Before he got his pay packet,
Premier League history.
Before he got his pay,
yeah, but he was still won over 300 grand a week.
He gets his pay packet, and then what happens?
Yeah, but he pulled that.
Yeah, but he's older now.
He pulled that pants down, Sean.
What happened to his behaviour?
I agree with Sean. I agree with Sean.
Human nature, Danny. It's human nature.
Yeah, of course. But he was still. But he was still on ridiculous sums of wages, right? He was still on over 250, 300 grand a week before the massive pay bumper that he got, right? And also, that was in his twilight years.
The drop-off after the payday is unreal.
Yeah, of course.
And Sean, I agree with you, Salah, 100%.
Name me 5 players that were on 100 grand that got paid over 200 grand that became better players. I'll save you the trouble, Danny. You can't. Okay, that's my concern. And you lot can all moan and go, Butler's moaning, but I'm making a fucking salient point, and it's winding me up that you guys
Sean,
can't acknowledge
I'm not
it.
disagreeing with it. I'm
You
saying
you all did. You all said I was fucking
Hey, excuse me. I wasn't on your side.
You're not listening again. You complain about Jim and Kate not listening, but you're not fucking listening, right? So fucking listen, right? I know the elephant and hippo. The elephant and the elephant and hippo debate is got him going.
Yeah, stunning.
Danny, I have a question for you.
But before you do, Eugene, I just want to say on this point, right? Like for me, I'm willing to take that risk right now on those players, and I think like if you're gonna go and pay Osherman, if you're gonna go and get him in, I would prefer to see us pay him those sort of wages, because for Osherman, he looks like someone who is gonna, regardless of what his personality is like, when it comes to playing on the football match, he's gonna give you those goals and the type of return that you expect from someone of his level, right? So if he doesn't, then unfortunately, that's the risk we're going to have to take. But Spurs have never taken that risk yet. They haven't done it yet.
So Danny,
I would rather take the risk on them than take the risk on a fucking player who might turn good.
Bring up Connor's comment. Leavenomics. Bring up Connor's comment. He's exactly right.
Connor doesn't know anything. I'm kidding.
Well,
Connor, get on, mate. Get on, Connor.
Hold on, Danny and Kate. I have a question for you guys. Look, we have Gallagher on 200K. We have Tonali on 270. We have Van der Ven on 240. We have Fernandes on I don't know how much, 2 something. Any new player that we want to attract, right, for starting 11 is going to be asking for at least that much. So from now on, every single player
not every new player, no. Like look, Van Hecke didn't get Van der Ven type of wages or Romero wages. He's on 100 grand a week, right? Because it's a massive increase to what he was probably on at Brighton, right? But it's the players who are playing at that level right now. So like the Tonalis, they're like one of the best midfielders in the league. You're gonna have to pay him those sort of wages. If you bring in an Osman, you're gonna have to pay him those sort of wages because he's one of the best around on the planet in his position, right? So it's a difference of bringing in a player who's not done it at a bigger club or a club on a consistent basis. Whereas, for example, Tonali, I don't think anyone on the panel or in the chat were unhappy that we brought in Tonali on the wages that he's on. Because he is going to improve us massively.
No.
Except Sean.
Virgil van Dijk, right? He was on 220 grand a week, went up to 400 grand a week, and improved no end.
Oh, did he?
When Gareth Bale
last season, he was fucking toilets, Kate.
Yeah, but this was when he got the pay rise. Don't bloody move the goalpost, Sean. You do this all the time. On land, in the water.
Did he earn 400 grand a week last year, Kate? Did he earn his 400 grand a week last year, Kate? Yes or no? Did he earn it?
No, probably not. But for the seasons before, he did. Harry Kane.
Did he earn it last year?
No, but Harry Kane, he had his wages massively increased. Did he improve? Yes. Sonny, yes. Bale, yes. There's four.
Kane proved it already.
Kane
was a world-class player.
I don't know. I'm not so sure he did.
I just think, Sean, that...
Hang on a second. Sorry, 1 second. Virgil van Dijk signed his contract in April 2025. What was that? Was that the start of last season? Oh, I think it was. And what happened last season? Oh, that's right. He was the worst he's ever been.
Yeah, but that's more fault Liverpool for doing it. And it was the same with Salah. Before Salah, but listen to me, before Salah got his pay rise, I said to Kate, they are fucking mad to put him on that sort of money at his age, right? And you could tell that he was going backwards. He was starting to go backwards. But he kind of put them under the pressure, and the fans put him under pressure to give him a new contract. You're talking about Van der Ven on 240 a week, right? He's a young guy, and he's got loads and loads of room to improve, and he will improve under the right manager.
Once again,
he is the right manager.
once again, this entire point was not specifically about Van de Ven. It was about the tweet from Enya that said causation and correlation. This narrative of like just paying the money does not equate to success. What she's saying is, if you just give more money to people that were responsible for poor performance, does that make them better players? And that's the point of the argument. It wasn't about Van de Ven specifically. Yes, Van de Ven deserves far more than the 70 grand or whatever it was that he was on. 100%, no argument there. But the narrative that she is presenting, which was the whole point of this argument an hour ago, is it just that good teams have great players and that win trophies, and then as a consequence of that, they earn good money? Which is true, but that doesn't mean that if you just take players and give them more money that they become better players. That's her point.
Okay.
And by the way, every single fucking player that has come up in the argument has proven to be the opposite. Fucking Virgil van Dijk got his contract in 2025. Last season was the worst season of his career. Rashford, massive fucking pay packet, turned out to be dog shit. Casemiro got his big pay deal. They
it doesn't mean they're all going to be like that, though, Sean, does it?
It doesn't mean
they're all going to be like that, Sean, right? And the thing is, if Spurs want to move forward, I understand what you're saying. If Spurs want to move forward and become a bigger club than what we are, instead of sitting in the doldrums like we have been for the last couple of years, they've got to get the better players in, and they've got to play the better wages. It's a chance that Spurs are going to have to take if they want to move forward. Because if they keep paying like they're paying, right, the bigger players are not going to come in.
Of course,
like Sean, if Kane came back this summer, right, on the wages that were spoken about, right, nearly $500,000 a week, would you be against that?
Would I be against Harry Kane earning £500,000 a week?
Well, they were prepared to make him the highest paid Premier League player ever with the whole package that was offered, right? So would you be against that? Like, and obviously the wages would have been around 450 grand a week, rising to 500 if Spurs won the Premier League, for example. Would you have been against that?
With him specifically, principally, probably not. Probably not, because of what he's done and what he generates and what his outcomes are. However, I think it would deserve a conversation, which is all that fucking point was supposed to be when Emma brought it up. Oh, shut up.
You didn't.
Sean, I agree with Sean.
It's an ambiguous question.
No, Sean, I actually agree with you there, Sean. I think to pay Harry Kane, right, 500 grand a week and put him on what we've heard that he was going to be on, I think is a really good debate because of his age. Right,
yeah, and you've got to pay 100 million quid to get him out, plus 500 grand a week. Right, what is that? That's 25 million quid a year.
The whole deal would have been about 150 million pounds.
Yeah,
it's a lot more than that, right?
Probably.
You sign him on a 4-year deal. 4 year. That's
it. Wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been 4 years, but.
Well, either way, and also by the way,
actually, yeah, probably would have been. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah,
25 million a year plus whatever bonuses, whatever all that other bollocks. Obviously, he'd be a superstar coming back to the Premier League. Everyone would get behind it. He'd sell a load of shirts. I'm sure there'd be a load of things that would commercialise it and make it more viable. However, not only does it set another precedent at the football club, but again, name me players that earn 400 grand a week or more that deserve it. And I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I don't think anyone here can. There's very few that can, right? And Harry Kane, by the way, in the World Cup, I know he was sort of somehow given this title of like England's second or third best player behind maybe Bellingham and probably, I don't know, either people would give it to him or maybe Jed Spence or whatever else. But I thought that Harry Kane was largely ineffectual. I thought he was basically shit in everything apart from the 2 goals that he scored against the Congo. And that's the end of a tiring season. So, you know, he's getting on. Like, he's not Superman. At some point, the age is going to catch up with him. Is it going to be cost effective? I'm not sitting
I agree with that.
Annual leaving mindset of like you have to scrape value, but these things are worthwhile a conversation. Is all I'm saying.
Matthew Ball, you're missing my point. Van Dijk signed his new contract before the season he performed poorly, because he was rewarded for the seasons beforehand. And I agree. And there's no reason why Van de Ven, I was going to say Van der Vaart there, I went back and had a brain fart, shouldn't be rewarded. Yeah, he wasn't great last year, but nobody was. But it's better for us to pay him $240 a week and keep him at the club because we're building a spine. Whether you think he's going to go next season or not, I don't know. It's all going to depend on De Zerbi. I don't think he will.
Yeah,
For me,
I think it's a massive, massive.
Last season, okay.
I think it's a massive, massive gamble, right? Giving people like, what's his name? The one at
Van de Ven.
No,
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, Salah, Kane, giving them massive contracts at their age. I think is a huge, huge gamble. And I when we heard about what they were going to put Kane on, I said to Kate, it's ridiculous. It's
insane. It is insane.
Because what is he, 31 now?
No, he's 33 nearly.
It's absolutely mental. For me, they will be much better off to go out and get an Osterman than do that.
I'm still waiting for Sean to bury me.
I can't even remember what it was that I was going to bury you about.
Oh, I mean, well, better take an extra Oxford natural pill then, because, I was getting threatened with burial, and now he can't even remember what he was going to bury me with.
At any given moment in time, Kate, whenever you open your mouth at the moment, all I can see is carp. So I'd fucking bury you. let me just do some of these super chiddly chit chats and a load of these fucking jewels that are lovely. Thank you very much, Andrew Cuddle. Appreciate you, mate. Appreciate Andrew Kiddle again for the 800 jewels. Appreciate you. And to Bertie. Appreciate Bertie as well. Remember for 6 months saying Samu Agahawa. Well, I think Porto have just signed someone. They've just signed Santiago Jimenez. So maybe Samu Agahawa is going to be someone that might leave. But for me, he hasn't done anything that makes me think that. But he's a big fucking lump. He's a big lump of a guy. Looks like that guy that was playing for Villa tonight. Possibly someone that I don't know. You know what? If Tottenham get linked with him again, I spent all of last year saying I just don't know about him. So I'm probably recycle that whole conversation if it happens. But big up to you, Bertie. Thank you very much. AV 2022 says outgoings, Bentancur, Vicario, Sarr, Udogie. Super quick. I'm going to come back to that one in just a second. I'll ask the guys. Big up to Matteo Iavasi. Big up to you for the jewels. Big up to Alan Tweedley, I think that is. Big up to you, mate, for the jewels. Big up to Loves Music for the jewels. Big up to Kale Darnage for the jewels. Big up to Danny Kiriaki for the jewels. Big up to Danny Kiriaki, who's in the chat. He's there. Big up to you for the jewels, Danny. 2 jewels. Big up. Thanks for the penny, mate. Thanks for the penny, bro. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Big up to Warren George for the jewels. Big up to Warren George for the jewels. They're all free, aren't they? Fucking hell. Big up to Ben Bryant. These fucking jewels.
They're not free. I fucking pay for them, mate.
No, I think everyone gets 1,000 jewels. I think everyone gets 1,000.
I didn't get fucking shit for free.
You didn't get any free jewels? No, you didn't get any free jewels?
I didn't get none.
Big up to Spurs 6659 says great show, Sean. Big up to you, mate. Appreciate you, bro. It's been fun. It's been fun. But Sean, you're wrong, says Bourbon. Apparently I'm wrong. No one's given me a reason why I'm wrong. There's a load of bollocks. But either way, appreciate that. Big up to you, mate. Big up to Danny for the jewels. Big up to Danny for the jewels. Big up for Danny, 2 jewels. Big up to you. Big up to Richard James, gifted 1 Spurs Talk Show membership.
You know what? I love that the jewels. You can actually just spam the chat with jewels now.
I know the fucking jewels. I'm gonna undo them.
That's what I'm gonna do now.
They're winding me up.
Spam jewels.
They're winding me up. Big up to them though. Big up to Richard James. Whoever received Richard James's membership, make sure you said thank you. Appreciate you. Jamal Duncan. Big up to you from America. Why is everyone letting Sean get away with saying Tel and Kudos is practically the same? He said it for a month and no one is correcting the S. Well, because I'm right.
Oh, no, that's a fucking stupid take.
It really fucking isn't. If you go and look at the stats, there are differences between the players. There are differences between the players, but they're not that different in terms of what happens on the fucking pitch. And I've proven
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous, Kate.
Make an argument, Sean. Make an
argument. Kudos played half a season, and at the time, he was the highest assister in the league with 7 assists.
He didn't get 7 assists, and by the way...
Yes, he did.
Oh, mate. Fuck.
There were 2 defenders on Kudus every single time. 2 or 3 defenders.
It was even 3, Eugene.
Tel, there's...
I like Tel, but I'm sorry, I'm not having that. That's fucking ridiculous.
Sorry, Sean.
He got 5 assists last season, you fucking idiot. So shut up.
He was on 7.
He got 5 assists in the Premier League last season. Thank you very much, Amsterdam. Good night. Okay, we are done out here. Let's carry on with these super chats for a second. Big up to Adam.
What are we doing?
It's still,
Big up to you.
It's still more than he's ever got.
You're wrong. You just lick your wounds and come back with some more bollocks in a minute. Okay, let me get through some of these fucking jewels. Spurs King. I'm not even fucking mentioning these 2 1-penny bollocks. Go fucking drive me up the wall. This lot. I'm turning them off. I'm turning them all off. Big up to you, Levy Nomics. Turn them off. Turn these fucking things off. Okay? Right, off. Dean One Coxey says Romero to Madrid. Here we go. Big up to you, mate. Yeah, we discussed that. It's goodbye. Sayonara, that donut. And Elvis G says the Hippo wouldn't win if you'd up its wage to 400 to 240 grand a week. Big up to Elvis G. Big up to Elvis G.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jules!
Fucking Jules. Listen, let's pivot to this outgoings. Benson, Vicario, Sarr, Udogie. Eugene, talk
Good
to me.
list. Get them all out. Get them all out. We need wholesale changes. Sell them all. Vicario is gone. Sarr not good enough. Udogie can't stay fit. Bentancur is useful, but I'd sell him as well. Just get them all gone.
Yeah, are we gonna? Listen, I'm getting these fucking jewels are pissing me off. They're winding me up, me right up.
What's going on, dude?
If you get rid of Udogie as well, that leaves another hole in the squad. You know, and we've got enough to do as it is.
You know, like Udogie is like Reece James. His body type, he can't stay fit. I don't think he's reliable. If we can get good money for him, sell him, but bring somebody in. We need a reliable option on the left. He's not it. He'll miss half the season again. And Robertson is not good enough. So we need somebody there.
Well, on the left back.
Yeah. Udogie will never be fit. He's just...
I agree with you.
James.
So what are we saying? So we sell Udogie as well and then get in Neco Williams and the other guy on the right-hand side, the Munoz guy, yeah?
Marinakis is not selling him, us, Nico Williams.
My man Robinson. The only decent American player.
He's fucking Jules. I'm not going to fucking mention them. Danny, what are you saying, mate? In terms of outgoings, would you sell Bentancur? Would you sell Waddy Bentancur right now?
I wouldn't know. I think Bentancur has a lot of value right now in the squads, especially the way he played with Zerbi. He was kind of a bit back to the old Bentancur a little bit. And I think he's a good player to have in the squad, especially right now. I think this season we need a player like that because I think he's a good option for an alternate to Fernandes and Tonali. I think next season then you can look at that, but Bentancur I wouldn't get rid of right now. I actually wanted Bentancur to go before because I thought he was never going to get back to the levels that he was going to get back to, and also because of his injury issues. But if he can stay fit, he's a good player. I think he's a good player for the season.
To update, either one of Bentancur or Berghvall have to go. So if Berghvall is going, then keep Bentancur. Otherwise, we have too many midfielders for one game a week.
Yeah, I'd probably get rid of, if it was one of the three, I'd get rid of Sarr. That'd be the one.
Sarr for sure has to go. But
yeah,
we have Archie Gray,
if it's out of Bentancur, and Berghvall, I don't know. I think I'd rather take the money on Berghvall and take the money for him because we could get good money for him.
Actually,
that's what I'd prefer. But then if you get rid of him, you have to bring in someone else. And the only midfielder I want coming into Spurs is Kate's boy.
Morgan Gibbs-White. Let's go.
Yeah, it's the only one. If we get rid of any more midfielders, that's the only one I want.
Because look, we have Gallagher. He's going to be a 10/8. We have Archie Gray. We have Berghvall. We have Bentancur. Sarr, I'm not counting. We have too many midfielders for one game a week. We need to ship a couple of out and bring in one more 10. Because Maddison, he's not going to be fit. We need another 10, like a top 10. So I would sell all of them.
Is perfect because he gives you the number 8 and number 10 options, right? He can play central midfield and he can play number 10, and he can also play off the right as well. So I think he's a versatile player. He gets you goals. He's reliable. He doesn't really get injured that much, hardly. Obviously, if it comes to Spurs, you'll get an ACL, but I'll take that's who I would want. But I think you're right, Sean. About didn't you say recently that you said that we will sign Morgan Gibbs-White, but just you don't know when, or something like that.
I said it. I said it last. I was at the Luton game last season, and I came home, and someone said to me, "It's 100." Two people said to me. One of them who's in the Tunnel Club, and the other one whose brother is at the is like a trainer or coach or some PT or whatever. And both of them don't know each other, and they both said to me, "Morgan Gibbs-White is 100% done." And I said, "100% done," and they went 100% done. I was like, "No, just give me a little wiggle room here." So I was on the way home, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, I'm going to put it out there." I literally just said, I don't know anything, but they said it was 100% done. By the time I went home, I got home at 8 p.m. I was pissed, and I went to bed, and I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning to like 900 retweets and fucking mudding because he'd signed Morgan Gibbs-White signed a new contract. So I learned never again to say 100% anything, even though I didn't actually claim anything. But I never said that he was going to sign then. I said he will 100% be a Tottenham player. And so consequently, what I'm saying is, who's doing lines? Who's fucking cutting up cocaine in the back? Is that you, Jimbo?
No, I've got my phone.
No, but you're breathing really heavy, I think, Jimbo.
Yeah, I was out with the dog, and I've come back. The fucking dog ran me ragged.
Like your Wally brain. You sound like Darth Vader. I am your father.
Sensational! Put me in, bro. Fucking send me a bump in Jules. Send me a balls jump, a Jules jump even. That's what I want. Someone telling me that We Are Tottenham TV have been using the Spurs Hub. I need to start charging them fucking rent. There you go. Did you see We Are Tottenham TV using your Spurs Hub stats and graphs? No, well, listen.
Respect.
But the thing is that they asked for me to remove their channel from the Spurs Hub. So maybe I will remove them from the access to the data. If that's the case, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to track down their IP and block them. We can work both ways. Banter can work in bi-directional. Listen, let's sort of finish up with all of your roundup. So where are we going with the next bomber, Eugene? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be after Savio? Looks like he's the next one, doesn't he? But after that, what's going to happen, mate? What's going to happen?
At this point, I have no idea. Like, my PTSD tells me it's going to be a last day loan deal for somebody from Uzbekistan. I don't know. Like, at this point, I just want the Savio debacle to be over. I'm exhausted of hearing about him, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I just want the season to start, and I cannot watch Richarlison anymore up front. Like, honestly, I'm telling you right now, if he's our starting number 9 when the season starts, it's going to be very tough for me to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch games. So yeah. But Bombas, man, honestly, it's dark, to be honest.
Oh my God, we might as well all go and hang ourselves. Bloody
hell. Oh, don't say that!
Give me a name, Kate. Give me a name.
I mean, hang ourselves
don't
out
say that!
on the washing line.
No. But no, honestly, somebody give me a name who I can get excited about.
That's all right, you can click it out, Sean. I've got to do that with something you said on mine last night. This is just revenge.
What did I say on your show last night?
Well, I'm not going to say it on yours.
Well, I didn't say anything that would get you demonetised.
Jimbo? No, not demonetised, just maybe a little bit. Rat-a-ta-ta.
I'm scared to put my mic on and get accused of taking cocaine.
Oh, you're not going to clip out the part where I said.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
I don't know saying it. The carp were illegal immigrants, and you're going to get him in the change the fishing boat for a fishing dinghy because they'll all fire in. That's not demonetisable. That's just good banter. You know, you just can't say anything to do with the S word. That's all I'm saying. Or the C word. Fucking hell.
Well, I was only saying it as a tongue in cheek.
Yeah, anyway, don't matter. All right, what are we doing? Who's the next signing apart from Savinho?
Look, I was out with a dog. Why is Eugene so down? Why did he say?
Hey, give me a name, Jimbo. Give me a name so I can get excited.
A name for what? A name for what?
For a Bomba, our new signing. Who would you get excited about?
Osman.
Oh, well, no. Other than Osman. That's an easy one. Go again. Exactly.
Look, Eugene, I don't think it's about all bombers. It's about getting players that are going to fit in.
Right? No, but that was the question, Jimbo.
Forward, and until the time comes that we upgrade until we get the team we want. We're not going to get all superstars, are we, in one window?
No, I agree. But that was the question. I'm answering Sean's question about Bomba.
If it looks like Savinho's coming in, if we got Gakpo and let's say a decent number 9. I'm not sure who. Would you be happy?
Well, but who? That's the question. I mean,
say we got Balogun. Would you be happy?
No, with Balogun, no.
All right. No. I'm just saying that's a name because we've been linked to him. But I just think to myself that maybe everyone's looking to, because we have bought in some really good players, that maybe everyone's looking too hard that we need. If we don't get this player, I'm going to be pissed off. But maybe we need to build up to them players. You know.
Sure. I'm just saying, like a Bomber, right? Somebody that, other than Osimhen, that you'd be excited about as a 9. Like, oh my God.
I'm excited about Savinho coming in. If Gakpo come in, I would be really, really happy. I like him. Striker-wise, I'm not too sure that someone who I think, he's going to do well for us. But look, it's not my job to find them, is it? But I'm sure.
Jim, would you be happy if actually, let me ask this question. Who would you prefer if Spurs were to bring in only one of these players, either a Balogun or a Mikatadze? Who would you prefer? So I think Spurs are going to definitely do the Gakpo and Savinho deal. I think that's going to happen. But if the striker option is only Balogun or Mikatadze, would you guys prefer Mikatadze?
I would.
Yeah, I would.
I would personally as well.
I'd be excited if he came in. He'd make me excited. At least a bit of unknown, some class. I'd be excited to watch him play versus others who actually I saw play in the Prem and they were average.
Yeah.
I think we get Mateta next. That's my Bomba.
Yeah, I don't mind Mateta. I don't mind him. I think we need someone like him. I just want to see a 9 with a bit of lumpiness about them that can put the ball in the back of the score bag.
Isn't his technical ability pretty shocking as well?
No, his hold up play is superb. He's fast. He's big. He's strong. He's powerful. I'll take him. Like he's nothing like an Osimhen in terms of value.
Yeah, of course.
But it is what it is. We are where we are. I just need to see a 9 that can benefit from the obscene talent that we're going to have down the wings, including my man Mathys Tel, which is Godwin saying Tel versus Kudus being like for like is utter bollocks. It's not what I said. It's not what I said. I'd love it if any fucking person here would just for once in their fucking life open their ears, right, and actually hear the perspective of what people are talking about rather than just jumping and lumping onto perspectives that aren't being actually mentioned. Appreciate the super chat.
This coming from a man who thinks you can go to a shop and rent a fishing rod.
No, if you can't rent a fucking fishing rod, then I'm entirely sorry. There's a fucking problem with that market. You can go on holiday and you can rent a scooter or a motorbike without a driving license, without a motorbike license. You can rent a jet ski and drive a jet ski around without a fucking jet ski license. Okay, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to rent a fucking fishing rod if you want to go fishing for a fucking day.
If you go to like a holiday camp where they do fishing, right? They got fishing lakes. Some of them rent you rods.
No, well there you go then. So
but it's not. But you can't just go into a fishing shop and ask to rent a rod. They would laugh at you.
Again, I think there's a market that's being missed there. But you know what? Because I don't know anything about fishing, I'm not going to sort of tackle this tonight, pardon the pun. But ultimately, I still believe that anybody that's sitting there and pretending like the reason why they can't catch a carp is because carp are too intelligent, I think that's more about you than it is about the fucking fish. Okay?
Coming soon.
No one said you can't catch them.
The Rent-A-Rod hub. Coming soon from Bozo.
No one said you can't catch them because they're too smart. I said, you've got to know what you're doing to be able to catch them because they're clever fish.
You also spent 15 minutes telling me how intelligent they are.
They are
They
intelligent.
are intelligent.
They're very
What do you know
intelligent
about it,
fish.
Kate?
I googled.
Oh, did you?
I'll tell you something else, right? I'll tell you,
true.
I could go down the lake now, talk to a carp, and he'd give me a better perspective on Van der Ven than you had tonight.
And you know what? Whatever Google says is true. It's like you saying Tel and Kudos are the same because the stats say it. We've all got frigging eyes. You don't
Once
need
again,
the stats.
you fucking idiot. I didn't say Tel and Kudos were the same. Honest to God. Honest to God.
It's so easy. I could catch a butler in seconds. I say
Mate.
one thing.
Yeah, because you're talking absolute fucking bollocks, mate. I've never heard it. Never heard such absolute waffle in my life. You know? I'm gonna have to start filtering people out here. I don't know. I know we've got like I can do a stream for members only, and I've got for like non-members. But can I do a stream for like people with brains only versus people that don't? Because if I did,
who's going to host? Because it ain't going to be you, bozo. If it's brains allowed, bozo's out.
Listen. What are we doing here? Let's finish up. Let's finish up with some words here from first and foremost. Appreciate everybody for being here. It's been a great show. It's been a long fucking show, 3 hours. Please do make sure that you get over to the Mudding of Sean channel. Kate and Jimbo, it's right there. Appreciate everyone for smashing. Good effort tonight. I heard Eugene's next bomber, and I heard Danny's next bomber. Jimbo, apart from Savinho, who's your next bomber, mate? Just one word, please. Don't get into fishing.
Apart from, I think Gakpo's coming in.
Gakpo, yeah?
Yeah.
Love that. And Kate?
Mateta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Because he's refused to renew his contract, and I've just got a feeling.
Jean-Philippe Mateta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
I like that.
Well done.
That's
well
a good
done.
one.
And what's yours, Sean?
I think the next bomber after Savinho will
Mikatadze.
be... fuck, man, I haven't even thought about it. If I have to pick one, or what I think will happen next, I don't even know. I'm going to go Balogun. I'm going to go Balogun, but I'm not that. I'm
going for Oshman as my bomber after Savinho. That's what I want.
Yeah,
wow.
That's what I'm going to go for.
What about Eugene?
No, Oshman would be perfect. If it's Balogun, I'll be annoyed. If it's Mateta, how old is he? Like 38, 39 in like regular years? Because you know how to. Like, I don't know. He's not.
How old is he?
I don't actually know how old he is.
38? He's 29, you gong.
Yeah, he must be
He's
30.
30,
Where's
but
that from?
I don't believe him. He moves like he is 37. I'm not.
No, he fucking
No.
doesn't.
If it's Oshman,
Wait,
Mikatadze, I'll be happy.
Hang on.
If it's
Mateta moves like
Balogun,
he's 37.
we're screwed.
Did you just say Mateta moves like he's 37?
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's such a bad
Have
take.
you watched
That's
him
the
last
worst
season?
take of the evening.
He was shocking.
And there's been some shocking takes from Kate and Jimbo specifically, but we're
Here we go.
Either
Mateta.
way. All right, guys, listen, we'll leave it there. We'll be back tomorrow. There's another fucking 200 fucking jewels to get through.
Yeah, more jewels.
These fucking jewels.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The jewels. Honestly, big up to you, Matt. Big up to Matt.
Yeah, Kate, watch Drew's comment. 256.
Spurs Graham says 1 billion jewels. Appreciate you, mate. Thank you very much. Richard James has become a new member. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. That's actually not a super. That's not a jewels. That's a super chat. Big up to you, Matty C. Appreciate you, mate. That is also Jules bollocks. And Tall Tart says jeweled carp are particularly bright. Apparently so. Apparently so. Big up to you. Daniel Field can go fuck himself with a penny. With 5 pence. Go fuck yourself. Love you all. And I love you, Blaine, but go fuck yourself as well. And Matteo Verrazzi, go fuck yourself as well. Okay. Love you all.
Unleash the Jews.
There's more coming. There's more.
We're going to be going for hours.
Wait, what's 1 jewel? Is it like a pound or?
It's like 13p or something.
They get 1,000 joules for free, right? So someone like 6659 can put in 500 times 2 joules, taking up my fucking time and my attention.
How many magnums?
There's so many coming
How many
in.
joules is a magnum?
Drew's doing it.
Drew. Oh, Drew.
Yeah.
Winding me up. Fuck off.
I can't
Oh
breathe.
dear, so funny.
Blaine as well.
Adam
just not
scored.
stopping.
All looks at it now. Adam from the chat. They're all. They know they've got
Yeah,
you,
Adam as well.
Sean.
Can I get a score prediction from you guys, just in case we don't see each other from for the game against Hoffenheim? Are you going to the game, Danny?
No.
You're in Amsterdam, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm not going to the game. When is it? I actually don't even know when it is. Is it tomorrow? Oh, Saturday. I think we'll win 3-1.
You don't get free joules. I thought you got free joules.
You do in the
They're not
mobile.
all free. They're not all free. You have to.
I didn't get any.
True.
How do you? Let's finish up then. It's just still quick. There's still 1,000 people here. Love to see it. I don't know why you're still here listening to this absolute waffle at this stage of the show, but it is what it is. I blame the lovebirds for that. Eugene, let me ask you this: what is the what do you expect to see something a little bit unique against Hoffenheim? It's the first game in the stadium, the only pre-season game that most Tottenham fans can get to. I'm not going, but I want to see something that represents a first team. Do you think we're going to see it? And what do you expect to see? Formation, team, any particular? Are we going to see players that are like, is Pedro Porro going to play some minutes? Etc.
That was my question. When is Porro back from vacation? Is he back?
He's back. Yeah, he's back. He's just got back.
I mean, I'd be.
I haven't actually seen him back at this. Actually, maybe he isn't back. I don't know, to be honest. But he's supposed to be back this week.
I mean, I want to see the new back line, and I want to see Tonali, Fernandes. That would be exciting to watch. I want to see Van Hecke, Van der Ven, Porro. I just want to see the starting back line and starting midfield. And if Maddison is going to be fit, that's going to be interesting. Because he had this alleged knock, but I don't know if he's fit or not. So we'll see. I say 7-1. We win.
7-1, yeah?
7-1.
Delusional. What about you, Doc? Anyone?
Delusional.
What are you going to see, Danny? What are you looking to see, mate?
I said 3-1. No, I think we'll.
Pack it in with these fucking joules, you donuts. Pack it in. You're winding me up. It's a fucking wind up.
Drew's giving me life.
You know. It's just like non-stop.
Don't have some.
I'm turning them off.
For deal givers. You have to call out their names.
Even if they are bringing in revenue, I'm turning them fucking off. They're annoying me.
Someone just said it's
Have some respect.
429 or 479 for 300 joules. So these people are spending money.
Yeah.
So don't be so ungrateful, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us pump the chat with joules.
A lot of them are free joules, right? If you're getting 1,000 free joules and you're putting in 2, like this fucking donut. Appreciate you, Luke. But if you're putting in 2 joules every 5 seconds, that's half a penny. Okay, I'm not interested. I appreciate it.
Everyone's putting 2 joules.
I've only actually just noticed that Sean and Eugene are matching hat wankers. You've got the same hat on.
Hey, I've had this hat for 2 years. Sean just
You've
got
had it for about 10 years, Eugene.
Eugene, I rate it, mate. I rate it, bro. I rate it.
Nice. Yeah.
Good tune.
Hey.
Good tune for you.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. What's
And
the
they've
score
both got
prediction?
black tops on as well.
It's green.
And we're both struggling at the top end of our park up here. You know, we're a little bit light on the forward line, eh, Eugene? You know,
Except one of us has good football takes. So that separates us. That's where things,
that's all you got to do, mate. Is go and read a couple of books, mate, and you might catch up. You know, Jimbo, what's your take on the game?
Well, I mean, it depends who they put out. But I'm going to go. If they put a decent team out, I'm going to go 4-0.
4-0 against Hoffenheim, yeah?
Yeah. You're going to get a lot of 4-0s off me next year.
I'd like to see us play a much stronger team, as strong as they can go. Personally.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
because they have to really if they want to use like Van der Ven and these people in the first game, they've got to go as strong as they can go.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Kate?
I'm going 5-1.
What the fuck are you lot talking about? We haven't beaten anybody like that. We haven't.
Well, there's always a fucking first time then, isn't there? What do you want me to say? Oh, it'd be 1-0.
I'm pretty sure that I'm the only person on this chat that's pissed, but I'm the only one here that's not being a fucking donut with their takes. I don't get it.
No. It's because you're pissed. You don't realise you're being an absolute bozo. It's like last night, you woke up and went, what have I done? Shit, I really thought a hippopotamus would beat a bull elephant. You're going to look at this tomorrow and go, wow, my takes are terrible.
It could be a bull elephant. Let's not do that again. Let's do some super chat. Johnny Tottenham, big up to you. Says we need a T-shirt saying you were winding me up.
We do need that shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the last time I tried merch, it lasted for about 30 seconds. The only person who bought anything was my man Nick Lazy 8, who bought like 6 fucking hoodies or something over to New York, and 3 of them turned up wrong. And I had to go and fucking figure out how to resend the right ones. But
it's funny you say that because that brass told me it only lasted about 3 seconds as well.
Why are you hanging around with brasses, Kate? What's that about?
Well, that was the previous live. I'm not going to go into right now.
Open yourself up like a can of baked beans. Open yourself up like a can.
Yeah. How do you think I met her?
It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Big up to Johnny Tottenham. Big up to Johnny Tottenham. Spurs Graham says, family jewels. I'm fucking done with the jewels. I appreciate everyone, but I'm done with them. Danny K says, are you moonlighting as ground staff at Schiphol with their headphones?
Oh, yeah, Schiphol.
I don't know what that means. What is that? Is that an airport or something?
That's the airport at Amsterdam. Yeah, it's Amsterdam airport.
Okay. Nice. Big up to you, Blaine. All right, lads and ladies. Thanks, everyone. Please get over. Fuck off, Kate's on fire. Look, you encourage her with this bollocks.
Brontosaurus Rex. That's me.
She's the brass master, yeah.
I'd rather be a brass master than a bozo. I'll take that all day long.
Nice. All right, guys. One last request. Make sure you go over to the lovely people over in Kate and Jimbo. There's the chat. Guys, we're going to round off. Appreciate everyone. Thanks for all the jewels and the bollocks. You're still going, Luke. You're still going, mate. You're going. Appreciate everyone. We'll be back tomorrow for some more. Go over to Kate and Jimbo. When are you going live again next, guys? Content's got a content. You do something tonight, tomorrow?
Do you know what? We're not actually going live for a few days because we're going away. So
nice.
Any breaking news, we will be putting out videos. But yeah, we're away for a few days. So yeah, I'm going to go to sleep tonight knowing that I buried Sean and sleep well. And I don't need any Oxford Natural for that. It's all up here.
Sean, you should do a collaboration with that Danny guy that you like on Twitter, and you should be called the Brass Father.
Mate, I'm done with him, mate. I'm done with him, bro. Right. Anyone who watches Brass Father content, this guy used to be awesome, right? He used to get on the packet and go on wild fucking rants and get himself in trouble by talking shit about people that were like far too powerful or part of the underworld. And that was his thing. He's learnt his lesson, and that's not the way to go. So now he doesn't do it anymore. Now he just travels around the world like pissing people off, and then takes pictures of steaks and making out there's nothing to do, Pete. There's nothing to do. I'm done with him. He's boring as hell. But I appreciate everyone. Thanks for the super chilly chit chats. Thanks for the jewels, you bozos. And appreciate everybody. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend away. You two at the bottom. Eugene, what are you up to, mate? You going anywhere, doing anything?
Oh, just Oxford. What do you call those? Oxford Naturals? Or
yeah.
Yeah, you do definitely need them, Eugene. You can't remember what they're called.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just going to scan the QR code and I'm just going to relax. And watch more news about Savinho coming in. So.
Good show. I enjoyed it, guys. It's been 3 hours, though. It's good time to finish. Love you all. Thanks for the chit chats. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone. Ciao.
Oh, dear.